3, 2, 1, now recording.
I want to see if you thought I was frozen. You're doing the same thing. I can see you moving slowly.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, hello and welcome back to the Block Update podcast. This is a Minecrafters podcast. It is episode 77. I am joined today by Slack Lizard, affectionately known by his mother as Jonathan, and myself, affectionately known by my mother as I will pull this car over right now and you will walk the rest of the way home.
Really? That's not how it went with me. Mom was always, don't make me pull this car over. I will come back there.
Oh, really? Okay. One time she actually got us out on the side of the road and drove off. She came back. But
how far did she go though? Did she go out of sight?
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Good.
It was the motorway as well. So yeah,
it's even better.
That was scary. Anyway, as usual, we like to start the show by thanking our 47 patrons. As you already know by now, the Block Update podcast is supported by Patreon, and you can help support us just like the top tier Minecraft 2.0 patrons who currently still are, according to Patreon, Lactating Monk, Stitch Fix, and the Praetor. Although Stitch Fix swears blind that she's not paying for it anymore, Slack. In the chat, but that's what I can only go with what Patreon tells me.
I mean, if Patreon wants to give us extra, I'm fine with that. You know, maybe we should just change that from Stitch Fix to Patreon then. Yeah. Maybe.
So I would like to ask people that aren't at the Minecraft 2.0 tier or at any tier that if you're enjoying the show and you would like to help support us, then you can do the Prices Are per podcast. And I just want to point out. Got a piece of, it wasn't really feedback, and I can't remember the person's name, but it was in our form. So we got a feedback form, which is on the website, which I'll refer to throughout the podcast, as usual. And someone put there, I've just gone to your Patreon, and it says it's $167 per podcast. That seems a bit expensive. I'm sure it's just a bug, but you might want to fix that. What they're looking at is how much, it's basically, I have it showing how many patrons we've got and how much we're earning per podcast. It just shows that on the Patreon page. So that's how much we're getting from all of them combined, not how much it costs you. It's $1 per podcast at the cheapest tier. And the minimum perks you'll get from that is access to our Patreon-only feed for bonus content, which we've just recorded. And this week we talked about Slack's personal time off, canning more vegetables, banging his head, and his visa issues, and I talked about Adam Sandler movies, making Minecraft shorts, a couple more add-ons that I've done, and feeling like I want to escape somewhere, but I don't know where. You also get
Sandler movies, huh?
Adam Sandler, yeah. You also get access to our Patreon-only Discord channels and a Discord role. Jeez, we nearly get there, Slack. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Wow. Just absolutely wow. And a side note, the Discord row used to be shiny until a couple people complained, and now it's just a normal Discord row.
Yeah, although Slack with the latest, or not the latest, the second latest Minecraft Bedrock update, it may well be shiny again, but we'll get to that in the news, I suppose.
Ooh, fancy.
Okay. Before we get to the news, though, it is time to find out. Well, I would say it's about what people thought of our show last week in response to that, but it isn't. It's feedback of what people really would wish they would could say to Mojang, but tell us instead. So let's get into it. Basically, okay, I'm going to say this again. I don't mind at this point because that's what this has turned into. But feedback, right? Let's say Slack says to me one week, let's say we're having a text message thing, but we only message each other weekly. And he says, something that I really like. I might write back, hey, I really like that. Thanks very much. Or I didn't like that. That was rubbish because, right? But what our feedback has turned out is Mojang's done something they don't like, so they tell us how much they don't like it. That's fine.
Yeah, there's a few books in here in the feedback this week.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit on the long side, peeps. I know it's been a while since I've said, please stop posting books. But it is getting a little bit ridiculous now, to be fair. Some of these things are pages and pages long, and we just don't have the time to read them all out in such detail. So, you know, I don't normally, but we're going to be getting to the point where I'll just start skipping them out altogether because the last two podcasts have been like nearly 3 hours long, right?
Indeed.
Indeed. So if you want to post feedback at this sort of level, and there's a lot of it, just try and reduce it so that you don't need to tell us your entire lives. Okay. Starting with M2 Lansky, who tells us his entire life. Hello, Foxy and Slack. Let's talk about the new Villager rebalanced. I'm not here to say how bad it is, just to say how bad it actually is, explaining details that the majority of players don't know about. So let's give you guys an example of how it's going to work. We know how it's going to work. M2 Lansky, we read the thing. Right. Okay. Let's get into this, because there's a whole bunch of these on the Villager rebalancing. Let's get into this.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely like the idea that they are going, hey, let's give different types of villagers from different biomes different enchantments. That's good. What isn't good is that the afterthought of that, the bit after that is totally broken. So anvils being too expensive is a massive problem, because the master level villagers don't sell top tier books. They'll sell them Breaking 2, Fortune 2, Efficiency 3. So you've already got to start combining them, which costs you a lot of levels, which costs you a lot of iron for all these anvils. And it's all of a sudden going to mean that if you want a top tier piece of armor, right, you want your boots, which can have like 6 or 7 enchantments on, you're not going to be able to get them, because it will be too expensive to combine them all on the anvil. Anything that's over 40 levels becomes too expensive on the anvil. Even if that wasn't the case, let's say Mojang go, okay, we'll take away that cap. Then you're going to spend your entire life trying to get XP, which is a problem, particularly for Bedrock Edition. And we've got more feedback about, oh, you're trying to get rid of all of the good farms on Bedrock Edition anyway. Right, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it's a big problem for Bedrock Edition, because we don't have very good XP farms. We don't get a particularly great amount of mobs. And the other lack of foresight for Bedrock Edition is the fact that there's no trident enchantments through any of these, which means if you want Impaling 5 for your trident killer, the only way you're going to get that is through an anvil. And that's only going to work if you don't get channeling or loyalty or something else on it as well, which chances are you will, because you never get it on its own. So it's just grind. The villagers having different books, great. The rest of it, no, that needs solving. That problem needs solving. They either need to make it so you can duplicate enchanted books, or that it doesn't cost you as many levels to combine enchanted books. Like, why should it cost you XP to combine enchanted books? That doesn't make any sense anyway. Right? Or they need to make the enchantment table easier to get what you want from it.
You know, we went into this quite a bit last week, and since we've already started on the subject, I'm going to go ahead and start on the subject as well. You know, the villager changes, okay. All right, I think it needs a little bit of rebalancing, but I'm fine with it. Because on Bedrock Edition, we have 2 other ways that you can get books. You can get 1 from fishing, and 2 from raid farms.
Yes.
But you know what I learned this week that I did not know?
What?
Java raid farms don't get books.
Oh, do they not? Oh, well, that'll change for us soon then. We won't get books soon from raid farms.
We get an extra treasure class on our raid farms that Java does not get. Well, that's why to us, whatever, change the villagers. I don't care. I'll just get them from a raid farm. Java can't. They don't get books from raid farms.
It's going to really push people on Java to go back to AFK fishing, because it's the only way you're going to get a decent number of books.
Yep.
I think if they're going to do this, let's not forget, peeps, the reason they did this isn't because they're just being horrible. It's because the community, us Java Edition people, have been saying for a long time that villagers are too OP. And they are. It is ridiculous that within half an hour of a new world, you can have a full trading hall set up with all of the enchanted gears. That's wrong. That shouldn't be how the game is. I don't like grind, don't get me wrong, but there's a big difference between what we've got now and what they're proposing. That's too much of a difference. They need to balance it out through the whole thing. So it still takes a little bit of time and a little bit of thought and a little bit of ingenuity to get to that point, but not so it's just grind instead. So I think I think there's a lot of work they need to do here. And considering the latest Java snapshot came out today and didn't address any of it, makes me think they've either gone back to the drawing board completely and coming up with something totally new, or they're just ignoring all of the feedback they're getting, like they did with the armor trims. But we'll see.
Yeah. Purple Hoser is up next. It says, this would be per podcast. If it's too much trouble, I'm sure someone in the community would do it. If no one steps up, I guess I could do it. What are they
I don't
talking
know.
about?
I don't know.
Me neither.
All right, delete that one.
Yep,
I'll give you another short one to read, Slack. Hang on, let me just scroll through the many.
Yeah, there's a few books, yeah.
I haven't done this. I haven't organised this one yet. I've organised questions and wish lists, but I haven't done this one yet because I'm an idiot and I did the wrong one first. There you go. Try Jade instead.
Oh, you give me the Maribel Jade person here. Okay.
Yeah.
After finally getting to listen to last week's episode, Slack, why hold back? Tell us what you really think about Java Sim Distance versus Sim 4 on Bedrock. Love how passionate you and Foxy are about the game. Sim 4 is a joke. Don't even get me started on Sim 4.
I prefer
Sim 4
it.
is a joke.
It's better.
Look, somebody the other day, without going into detail, oh, you prefer Java over Bedrock. Look, Bedrock, we have some farms that can straight up smoke Java. And then once you get past Sim 4, our structure spawns are beautiful. Beautiful. Java doesn't have structure spawns like us.
No.
Ours are predictable.
Yeah, we do have
Right.
some startling advantages over Java Edition to a certain extent. But
Our density checks, the ability to shut off mobs in an area just by cutting just 8. You want to kill server spawns, put 8 in a hole. You can't do that on Java. You need a full-blown mob switch. They don't have density. No,
Exactly.
We got the advantage there.
So, and there is feedback about this. So I want to leave it before we get into it because there's feedback saying that we prefer Java Edition and not Bedrock Edition, blah blah blah. So let's get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Guyver says, Dear Foxy and Slack, I think the Wandering Trader change is a good starting point. I know only having one trade feels pretty much pointless, but bear in mind that they're spawning near constantly and we're already killing them on site. So now you can keep a stash of water bottles at your base and get an emerald from them before killing them to get the leather from the llamas. I think Mojang's logic regarding librarians versus the enchantment table is flawed. If the enchantment table isn't worth using because of the librarian mechanics, then making the enchantment table more desirable. Nerfing the librarians doesn't make the enchanting table more desirable. It just makes the game overall more of a pain. Totally agree with that. I think instead they should overhaul the enchanting table, and this goes on for a while. Sorry, Guyver, but we got a lot to get through today. They could fix both by changing the enchanting system to be more like potion making, where there are specific recipes for specific enchantments. That's not a bad idea. Maybe you should put that in the wish list. Finally, please remember that write-offs are free money. I'm kidding. Sorry for getting you worked up last podcast. I will not bring up taxes again. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you, Guyver. Sorry for cutting it short, but there's a lot to get through, and there's obviously everybody's talking about the villager changes, so we don't want to be reading the same thing over and over again. But you're totally right. It does push you back to the enchantment table, but then you go back to that and go, oh, I forgot about this. Standing for hours and hours under your zombie spawner XP farm just to get enough levels to roll it and then realise you've got a load of junk and put it on the grindstone and start again.
Yeah. Yeah, see, Bedrock used to have a better enchanting table until they did a parity update with it. But, right. Moving on, Purple Hoser is up next and says, Hey, Foxy and Slack, my suggestion this week is that we should have a section of the podcast for awards like longest feedback or best wish list. Purple.
No, absolutely not. I'm not going to reward anybody for writing ridiculously long feedback. Whilst we really do genuinely appreciate feedback, like long feedback is not good. It's not good for anyone. Me and Slack clearly struggle to read a lot of it, and you don't understand. I mean, I'd love you to sit there with me while I go through getting everything from Discord and the emails and the feedback form, spell check it all, rewrite it, put grammar in, put commas in, because it's just a mess. It's a mess. And half of these ones that are really, really long don't have any punctuation in, the spelling's all wrong, and it makes it really difficult to read. So I have to go through it twice to fix it before we do it. So I'm not going to reward anybody for having long feedback. I'll reward people for doing short and sweet feedback that's to the point but gets their point across. You can leave feedback about anything you want to do with the show, or issues you're having with what we've talked about previously. Absolutely fine, but they don't need to be ridiculously long. Please. Best wish list. Yeah. We already do good ideas bin. I think that's about as good as you're going to get. Consider yourself having an award when you get in the good ideas bin.
Yep.
Okay, Zenman16 says, Hey Foxy, regarding your comments about roadworks at night time, a few years back when my eldest son was still very young, we had a gas leak at our house in the early evening and had to vacate the property. We called the gas company and then sent the guy out. While checking the leak, he moved the gas meter and the main pipe ruptured completely. Following this, the only course of action was to stop the leak. To stop the leak was to dig up the road outside. Digging went on for quite a while into the late hours. Thankfully, our neighbours took pity on us. We had nowhere to go. We didn't get back to our house until midnight. My point is sometimes it's absolutely necessary for late evening roadworks, even though they may not necessarily know the reasons for it. That's actual feedback, Slack. And it was long, but it wasn't that long. That was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Zen Man. The difference is it wasn't a gas main that had gone. It was the roundabout at the end of the road that they're fixing, and they decided to do in the middle of the night to save having big queues of traffic the next day, which is fine if they didn't have those ridiculously loud hammer drills going at, 11 o'clock at night while you're trying to fall asleep and everyone's got the windows open because it's hot. So
now we need you to close your window. Oh, thanks.
I get it. It's all when you've got to do roadworks like that, and there's that is one of the main roundabouts in and out of Cleethorpes, so it's difficult. So you don't want to be slowing the traffic down in the summer holidays to an area which is a tourist destination and causing big problems during the day. But it'd be nice if they put a note through. If they put a note through the door going, we're going to be making a racket outside your house next week. That'd be nice to know. I'd buy some earplugs in advance.
Zen Man's up again, and they say this time, hey, Foxy and Slack, regarding lanterns on walls. I would also love the ability or be able to have lanterns on walls. I don't think this would make torches obsolete. You would still use torches for exploring and mining. Lanterns just wouldn't be worth the effort for those use cases. Yeah. Dude, I like caves with glowstone. I like caves with sea lanterns, any light source that I got.
Yeah, we didn't say we think that lanterns would make torches obsolete. That was my Mojang, the people that make Minecraft, and it seems, particularly the comments we get on this podcast on the video, a lot of people in those comments must think that we make the game. Because can you fix this? Can you do that? Can you add this to the game? I don't think you do think that, Zen Man, but we weren't saying that we think that. We were saying the reason that is because Mojang said that. That was what they said. They don't want the torch for Minecraft is iconic and they don't want it to be replaced. I'd love it to be replaced. Well, not replaced. I like the torch, but I would love lanterns on the side of the wall, but we can't put it in the game because Mojang said no. Just how it is. Speaking of that, I remember a bit of an anecdote. When I used to listen to the Spawn Chunks religiously every single week, Joel on that every single week would be asking the community of listeners for a data pack that allowed you to put lanterns on walls. And I'm like, I'm banging my head against the wall. I really wanted to write in and just say, it can't be done. You can't, data packs don't work like that. It can't be done. Of course, you can have armor stands holding lanterns and things like that. Well, they wouldn't have emitted light. It would have been an absolute mess, really janky. But it went on for months and months and months. And and I was just thinking, you're a Minecraft podcast. You should know this stuff. But then I realized that even there's loads of stuff even I don't know. And we do a Minecraft podcast. So I got wise after a while and I shut up. I never wrote in, but I really wanted to write in and just be like, you can't do it. Anyway, next is it me? It's you. It's me.
It's you.
M2 Lansky. About the gold farm topic, is it because of that the Bedrock community can't have good stuff? The only Bedrock farm that's better than Java is considered cheaty and people want to get it removed. All farms are cheaty. There's not a single farm that was intended to exist by developers. Let me stop you there, M2 Lansky. That's total nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. In fact, over the last few updates, if you do, you watch those developer diary things that they put on the Minecraft website, you watch the Minecon thing, all of the little live streams and things they do, they quite often talk about when they're considering new features, how people might be, farm it in ingenious ways. And they have to think about all the different ways they might possibly want to farm it, make sure it's not too OP, make sure that it's a fun way to go around discovering how to do it. So, a lot of farms are totally considered. Maybe not right in the early days when they were first developing the game and they were just putting things in and seeing what people did. But the Mojang are not sitting there going, we don't want people farming. They did say they didn't want the Warden to be farmable, which is why they didn't want to give it a block originally. But most of the things, they're quite happy to be farmed, and they will actually, skew the development process to make sure that's possible because they understand that's a massive part of the game. Yep. So, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Continuing, fans are just exploited game mechanics to get better results. Well, true, but they're not exploited. They're utilizing the game mechanics to get better results. Unless you're using a bug. If you're utilizing a bug, then it's a cheaty farm.
Yep.
You might want to use it. You might I use it. I use the zero ticking stuff. I use the ticking portal farms. Of course I do. Because it's a cheaty, easy way to get stuff, but it shouldn't be in the game because it's a bug. Now, I don't want them to get rid of all of that stuff because we don't have a replacement, But I do want them to get rid of it eventually when we've got an actual working replacement. Sorry, Slack, go on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the comment, the only Bedrock farm that's better than Java. You obviously haven't built many farms then.
No.
Sorry. No. There's several that can smoke Java farms, even on Sim 4. So, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about on that one. Sorry.
Basic, better than Java Edition farm is a simple sugarcane farm because on Java Edition you can't bone meal sugarcane. Anyway, M2 Lansky finishes off by saying, just make me feel bad because as influencers, you guys are agreeing with the developers that Java is the right version of Minecraft. And it's just sad that you guys want every single Bedrock exclusive to get removed. No, a Bedrock exclusive isn't utilizing a bug. I'm sorry, that's just not the case. If you're using a zombie ticking farm or a zero-tick kelp farm, they're not features. You're not exploiting a feature, you're exploiting a bug. And yes, I want bugs removed. I've been saying for years, I prefer how Bedrock Edition is. If I was to have full parity, if it was my choice, I would take loads of the stuff that Bedrock's got and put it in Java, but I don't get to make those decisions. And clearly the people that do are the people that are left over from working on Java. So they're the ones thinking, that's the right way to do it. And you also got to look at the community consensus. The community, while the majority of players do play on Bedrock Edition, the ones that make all the noise, the ones that are passionate about it, the proper Minecrafters, are still the ones that watch all of the content that comes from Java Edition, whether they play that version or not. So it is just assumed and felt throughout the community in a general sense, not everybody, but generalizing that the Java Edition version is the right way to do it because that's always how it has been. And if you look at Bedrock's history and how awful it was compared to Java Edition and how much it's grown, Java Edition was always loads better because Bedrock just was missing many, many features. It still is, like scare mechanics for villagers and stuff like that. Yeah. So...
Well, and then you got two versions of the game, okay? And they're the ones pushing parity more than anything, all right? But if you have something that works one way in one way in the other, guess what? One of them is classified as a bug. It's not working as intended. And you're talking about how Bedrock exclusives get removed. There's been many instances where Bedrock exclusives have went to Java and become part of their features.
Exactly.
So again, you're talking, but you're not knowing everything on this.
Yeah. So if you don't like what we say, that's absolutely fine. And if we make you feel bad, I know that sounds awful, but that's on you. We have an opinion. Yeah. We have an opinion on. We play the game a lot. We're obviously deeply involved in the game. We have our opinions. Mine and Slack's don't always line up. As we've talked about in the wish list many times, I've begged him to put things in that he doesn't want and vice versa. You can't get upset because someone has a different opinion to you. You can't. If you go through life like that, you're going to be miserable. Enjoy your opinion, and if other people are disagreeing with you, then find things to back your opinion up and express it to them. But don't expect them to change their opinion just because you've got a different one and vice versa. Opinions are just points of view. They're not important. They don't mean anything. It's just our preferences.
Yeah, we have different preferences about the game and about life. Some things we've just learned you just don't talk about. Yeah, it's just no. You believe this way. I believe that way. We're done. Yep, good. Yep.
Your preferences are just as valid as ours to you. My opinions are valid to me. Your opinions are valid to you. They don't have to overlap. They don't have to align. No. I can still like you, you can still like me and have a different opinion. It's fine. So don't feel bad because we've got a different opinion to you. Because you just spend your life being miserable.
Yeah, because, be honest, you're not going to change my opinion.
yeah. On stuff like this, probably not. I don't think that Java Edition is the right version, but there is still a lot of stuff in Java Edition I'd like to have on Bedrock Edition. Because at the end of the day, as much as I've not wanted parity, I like the fact that they're different. I've got to be realistic. They're heading towards full parity. That's what they've said. And if they're, if they've got any brains at all, which they have because it's Microsoft and Mojang and the smart people, they will be eventually wanting to get to a unified version so they don't have to keep developing 2 versions of the game. So it's going to have to go one direction, right? So me bearing that in mind, I've got to think, okay, well, if that's the direction we go in that case, I want this parity from Java, that parity from Bedrock, blah, 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 blah. So,
yep.
There you go. Anyway, moving on.
Yep. Where are we up to?
Man with a plan.
Man with a plan. Man with a plan says, "Hey, Foxy and Slack. I hope you're having a good day so far. I listen to your podcast while doing projects both in and out of Minecraft, for example, digging up hundreds of stone for a medieval build. I would not have the patience for that without you guys. Thanks a lot." Not a problem.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I used to like digging. You remember when you could dig all the way down to the bottom of the world, Slack, and it was good because you could see the bedrock, and now there's all that horrible stuff in the way and you can't dig through it.
You know what's beautiful, Foxy? This is a little off topic here, but on the My Forever Slackville world that we have,
yeah,
there's still diamonds at Y11. So if you want diamonds, you can go down there, and you don't even have to go into Deep Slate to get them. Just saying.
It wasn't even the diamonds, really, for me. It was just the achievement of digging a big hole. I know it sounds stupid, but I just got an achievement from digging out a big hole from the ground to the bottom. But now the bottom's 64 blocks lower down and full of something I can't mine through.
Well, you can. You'll just feel that much more accomplished when you get done with it.
I ain't got the time in my life to dig 64 blocks of Deep Slate in a chunk size. No way. I'm not doing it.
Doesn't take no time at all. You got to.
Doesn't with my hand. Brand new Deep Slate pickaxe add-on, Slack, and haste 2 potions. Jeez, anyway. Stone Ostrich says, villager update thoughts. Oh, jeez, here we go. This is another book. These changes wouldn't be so bad if the changes to zombie villager spawning was greater in jungles and swamps. Well, we'll get to that in the news because I don't know if anyone's even noticed it yet, but spoilers, the villagers, the zombie stacking trade thing's been fixed.
Yeah.
So, cutting a long story short, what does it say? Oh, geez. The damaged well and cobblestone fence post could have been the foundation of still... Oh, geez.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. Sorry, Stone Ostrich. We've got a lot to get through.
It sounds like they're wanting these things called trail runes.
It seems like more of a wish list, doesn't it, this one, to be honest
with
you?
This really feels like a wish list.
I'll just read it quick.
Okay.
Since the jungle and swamps are hot and humid biomes, any abandoned wooden structures would rot away in short order. It's not real life, it's Minecraft. These biomes could have ghost villages in them. A damaged well and a cobblestone fence post could have been the foundation of the still houses. These villages could also spawn zombie villages at night since ghosts come out at night. It's not real life, it's Minecraft and ghosts aren't real. Which could be cured for villager trading halls. Some buried barrels or chests in the ghost villages that have a couple of biome-specific books for those that play on peaceful and possibly encourage the loitering after dark. Have chisel bookshelves. So basically you're saying, can we please have villages, the secret villages actually generate so we don't have to move villages to the other biomes. I quite like that idea. I know not every world's got a swamp within a reasonable distance, but I kind of like the idea of like, oh, I want those books, so I'm going to have to move my villagers over there. To me, that's more interesting than just going, let's put all the villagers over here and do this, that, and the other and get it instantly. That's the thing I like about this. I won't like it when I've actually got to do it.
No, because what you're going to look for is I need a plains that intersects with a swamp, with a desert, and a jungle right here so I can build my villager trading hall in this perfect spot.
Yeah, basically. Okay. Jade's back, Slack.
Okay, Jade's back. Okay. On the train of numbering the episodes, it would be nice because the Apple Podcast app doesn't always put the most recent episode on top. I don't know the algorithm, but it's still nice to know which episode something is said and having a number to go back and reference.
Okay. Fine, I'll start putting episode numbers on again. Jeez. Yeah, bunch of whingers.
Don't you listen to Jade. No,
that was actual feedback. No, we got a bunch of people saying that as well. Apparently on like Spotify, it plays them in a random order, and there's issues with other apps that just don't, for some reason, give you the actual most recent episode at the top. So it makes sense. But it's only going to be a number. I'm not putting the Block Update podcast episode this and then the title. It'll just be whatever the number is and then the title. Okay. So don't start getting picky. Hey, guess what, Slack? We've got another book that's about the new librarian changes.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Irish Viking says, hey, Foxy and Slack, I have a little bit of a different opinion on the new librarian changes, it seems. Oh, good, someone with a different opinion. I actually think the direction they're going is decent. Oh, if you want all 4 enchantments from specific biomes, you only need 3 villages from that biome at most. And if you take the time to roll them in that biome, you could only end up needing 1. See, that's the advantage of this. The advantage of this is going to be much quicker to get the villages you want. Okay, you've got to take them to different biomes, but actually spending all that time rolling villages is a nightmare. That's one of the reasons I wanted to change in the first place, because I just hate rolling the same villager and getting the same trades. And because there's so many different enchantments, you never get the one you want. I think this is going to make it loads easier to get the enchantments you want.
Yeah.
So with that kind of thinking, with a little patience, you could end up with only needing 7 villages for all the enchantments. Yes, you'd have to go to different biomes, but isn't that actually easier in the long run than having to roll 30 plus in your trading hall? Well, technically yes, but also no, because don't forget, that's just the top tier enchantments. You're still going to want those other enchantments. You're still going to want the blast protection and the projectile protection and the whatever, all the other things you want for your boots and things like that. So you're going to need a bunch in each different one, but you're probably not going to need that many. Probably going to need like 5 or 6 villages per biome, which is really not that many, and will be less laggy for worlds as well. So anyway, they can't continue. The thing that does need to be changed, though, is the special enchantments. If a player's putting in the time to get the villagers to master, then it needs to be full level special enchantment. I can agree with that. I do think it's ridiculous that like their first level enchantment, like a novice, is it? They can have like a
fire protection 4, but then when you get the protection, it's like protection 3. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. That's weird. That's wrong. I don't agree with that. I think like what we've said in the feedback in the wish list before, wouldn't it be great if there was like, okay, I've just got 1 book, and the more you trade with me, the higher the level of that book will go up, right? So he starts on Unbreaking 1, but by the time he's a master, he's on Unbreaking 3. Why? That's loads
See, now
easier.
if they did that with this, I could agree with that. The old villager system, how we had it, I didn't like.
No.
But this one, I can get behind it in that change, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that does need to be changed, though, is the special enchantments. If a player is putting in the time to get the... I've read that bit. I'm not apologising for the book because I feel it needed saying. As always, look forward to the podcast. Oh, and I needed to add, just think of how compact your iron farm / trading hall could be with only 7 librarians. You could actually utilise the other professions. Yeah, if you've got an iron farm in every single biome as well, more iron, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
so
potentially.
Speaking of iron farms, much easier to make on Bedrock Edition than on Java Edition.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You might go, but they've got scare mechanics on Java Edition. They spawn more golems. They do, but you got to faff about with track and get it all the right distance and make sure they're scaring them for the right amount. No, Bedrock Edition's easy.
Yep.
No. Yeah, so...
Don't forget it. Yep.
Thank you, Irish Viking. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Good feedback, even though it was a bit of a book.
So. Krator is up next and says, it was appreciated to hear the idea of the new food being a shot down, since it was simply a thought of bringing a new use to something out. And of course, suspicious stew is something no one makes, which makes me wonder if beetroot could ever have another use.
Yeah, get rid of beetroot. Yeah, but we get red dye from everything. Everything gives you red dye. We don't need it from beetroot.
That was the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of beetroot. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yep.
Yeah, beetroot and suspicious stew gone. Out. Get rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Yep.
Craner Raincrest says, hello, Foxy and Slack. Regarding number in the episode, sometimes the numbers in the title help a lot. I listen on YouTube as well as Spotify. Depending on what device I'm on or what account, it takes me a minute to match up the correct episode. Spotify sometimes takes a couple of times to get to the correct episode, so I do appreciate the episode number in the title on YouTube since they stick in my head. Thanks for everything you do. Okay. Oh, hang on, Slack. Let me give you a nice short one, because that's another book, isn't it? There you go.
Yeah, there's a book. Oh, I get Jason. I like when you said that feedback is. I like when you said what feedback is. That was good.
Thanks, Jason. Good feedback.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay, right, Stitch Fix. Here we go. Foxy, how's your day? I won't apologise for the books. Okay, but just bear in mind, if you won't apologise for the books, even though we've asked nicely to not have books, right? You'll just get ignored, or we'll just miss out half of what you've written. So on your head,
as you notice, we're starting to skip now, but next episode we're going to do full-blown skips.
If someone said to me, "Can you please not do that?" and I went, "I'm going to do that and not apologise for it," I'd think, "Well, you're a bit arrogant, aren't you? Wow, I don't think I'll be dealing with you too much in the future. Thank you very much."
No.
So if we ask nicely, I don't see any reason to then turn around and go and say no, because we got the power.
No, we're not saying it's bad in your wish list or anything else. This is the feedback. This is the feedback section.
No, I said, I don't want books in any of them. Get rid of your books.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, buy books. Just like the enchanted, books. Yep, get rid of them. Yep.
Get rid of them. And the beetroot. Right. Think of how much free content I help with. How many interesting topics do get people talking about? You do give us good feedback, to be fair, Stitch Fix, but no books. And all the good questions roll on the floor laughing emoji. Anyway, the new librarian change could be good for servers to play like an Empire sort of gameplay where people set up in different biomes and trade goods for their homelands. Personally, I don't like it, but just for reference, Slack, I never played Java. I couldn't care less about parity. I don't have anything against it, just don't play it, so I have no opinion on Java parity. Yeah, that's fine, Stitch Fix, but don't you think that's a little bit like what we were saying? Everybody's going to have to start playing in a way that is not maybe the way they want to play. I don't think that's a good... I wouldn't put that in the pros column of the villager changes. Oh, well, let's look at the good and the bad. The good is we could all play like that SMP that Empires do. I don't want to play like them. I want to play Minecraft the way I want to play it.
What happens if I need a mending villager and Foxy has the swamp and nobody else can have the swamp and Foxy isn't on for a week?
Yeah. No. No. Okay, next.
Battle Chicken. I love that name.
Battle Chicken.
I love that name. Battle Chicken. Oh, Foxy, Foxy, Foxy. I love the podcast and your humor for roasting a Stitch Fix. When you were talking about taxes, I fell asleep. That was a little too boring. Love the podcast. You know what, Battle Chicken? I agree with you. I'll fall asleep too. I'm just
How
saying.
dare you? Who do you think you are not enjoying me talking about taxes? Look, okay, we had
Don't. Let it go.
We're not always just going to be talking about everything like just it's got to be Minecraft or nothing. If things like that crop up and it's important and I feel like it's something I'm passionate about, I'm going to talk about it. If you fall asleep, that's your problem. Sounds like a you problem. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm awake.
Okay. As if with a book. I understand the frustration of the new villager trades, but I think it does make sense, particularly for new or first-time players. Each biome has its own specialities, and you need to explore to find everything. Okay, I'm going to stop you there because, and there is more, I will read more, but I'm going to stop there because I totally disagree with that. That change, as we said last podcast, is Mojang completely contradicting themselves. They said that from now on, a few years ago, when we're thinking of new updates and changes to the game, we're going to be making sure that nobody has to go to the wiki, right? We don't want people having to jump out of the game, go to the wiki to figure this, that, and the other out. We want all of the new mechanics and things like that to just be figure-outable. They added the redstone under the stupid ancient portal thing in order to give you a redstone tutorial. They're doing the best to do that. But then with this, you're like, let's say you've never played the game before, you find a villager and you figure out you can trade with it, and then a little bit later down the line you figure out that they have different ones, and actually if you break the workstation you can get different trades. How are you supposed to just know intuitively that if you go to a different biome you get different ones, unless you go off exploring, you find a different villager in a different biome and you're like, oh, that one's got different ones, I didn't notice them before, and then you go, okay, right, so what books can I get? And you roll the books, but you don't know whether or not that's just all the books in the game, or that's just the limit of villagers, or if there's more in a different biome. And you might not know about biomes. You might know what biomes exist. You might not know which ones to go to. You could spend your entire life moving villagers around or finding villagers in different places, never even find the swamp, the fact that you can breed them in a swamp, or the other one that's, illegal. Jungle, is it?
Yeah, jungle.
So I don't think it's good for new players at all. In fact, I think it's awful for new players. I think it's only serving of people that have read the changelogs and read the wiki, which is totally against what they said. Anyway, it carries on. That said, it seems Mojang has shot themselves in the foot again because they introduced this idea of secret villages being important. How is a player supposed to know that they should build a village in the swamp? Exactly what I just said. By the same logic, we should get ultra mega enchantments from villages built in the nether or the end. Yeah, then, That's the logical train of thought. Oh, well, if I get them all different in the overworld, do I get different ones if I take them to the end? No. P.S. I know that existing players get messed up by this new change, but we've all said that villager trading was OP for a while now. Perhaps this new mode should be a game rule that players can choose at world creation, so existing worlds don't necessarily need to deal with it. That would be a very difficult thing to accomplish. I think it just needs a lot of care and attention before they actually finalise it. I think they really need to think about the game 3, not just with the villagers, but through the entire process of getting your levels, combining your books, how you actually find out that different villagers in different biomes have those things, how you could discover that you could make a village in a jungle and get different books. I don't think that should be left to chance. I think it needs all spelling out. I can see a dog.
Excuse you.
That was amazing. Just his little eyes peeping over your arm. Little ears.
Excuse you.
Good morning. Right, the last piece of feedback. Slack.
Is from Mike, and they say in the last podcast, during Foxy's question, or during questions, Foxy mentioned how Deep Slate, although his favorite block, has made the game less enjoyable for him, as putting on a podcast and mining away is not as much fun. Oddly enough, I was mining Deep Slate while re-listening to the podcast. Your podcast is so entertaining, it makes Deep Slate mining much less of a chore for me. Thanks for giving me something it sounds like you've lost. There you go, Foxy. You just need to play the podcast when you're mining Deep Slate.
Do you know what, Mike? That was, if anyone, take a snapshot of that. That was the perfect feedback, because it was about me. Right?
Oh God!
No, it was a lovely length. It was about something we'd talked about. It was fun. It was interesting. I really like that. Well done, Mike. You get today's Gold Star Award for best feedback. Jeez.
You mean the thing we said we weren't going to do? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm doing it today just to make a point. That's the joke, Slack. Jeez. If you would like, if you dare leave us feedback at this point,
I didn't do it.
Then you can do by emailing us at news@theblockupdate.com, filling out the feedback form on the website, or joining the Discord. And please, we do love feedback. We absolutely do. Obviously, when there's big changes in the game like this, there's going to be a lot of repetitive stuff. But honestly, we don't need you to spell out how the new game has changed, because we know, we've read it. If we've got something wrong, that's perfect opportunity to leave feedback. Tell us how wrong we are. That's brilliant. That's what feedback's for. Or telling us something like Mike just did. So
Mike gets a +1 to their reputation on the feedback document. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. He's got lower trades in my village. So please do leave feedback. But just bear in mind, we get a lot of it now. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we do. Especially when there's big changes going on, we get more. Just maybe not make it quite so long. Sometimes. Yeah. Right, Slack, it's time for the news, and we got a whole bunch of changelogs going through this week. Fortunately, some of them are short and sweet, and other ones are a little bit longer than the others. We're going to start with Minecraft 1.20.14, which was for PlayStation only, and that fixed things, which is nice. That's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, that's well, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it fixed a top crash that could occur during gameplay. I don't know what a top crash is, but if you've had a top crash on PlayStation, then, it might be that one. We don't know, because there's no bug report associated with it. There's no information at all, but it's a top crash. Good news. Okay. Right, the next news article, of course, is the brand new Java Edition snapshot that came out today, which doesn't do anything with the villager changes that they introduced last week. As we've said before, that means they're either sticking with the guns or they've gone back to the drawing board and are seriously thinking about it. What they have changed, though, is vibrations, and they're no longer at risk of being lost in simulation distance limit, which is nice. And they've got a bunch of things that will, basically emit vibrations as well, which is nice. They've changed last week's changelog. We totally skipped through it. There's loads and loads of changes to data packs and resource packs that's happening with Java Edition now. It's actually, it's amazing the stuff you can do with that now. But because I'm not involved with that anymore, it just goes totally over my head. But there's some crazy stuff you can do with data packs and resource packs on Java Edition now. So if you're interested in all that, do check out these changelogs. And I'm going to skip through it again because it's just whoosh, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots.
What else have I made? Oh, that's it. There's just a whole bunch of bug fixes, and that's about it now on that one. So another nice, short and sweet change log. The next one is not going to be quite so short and sweet, and that is Minecraft Beta and Preview 1.20.30.20, which came out last week, just the day after we did the podcast. It was a little bit late. And they have a known issue, Slack. We have a known issue in this beta preview, which may cause a crash when using the search bar within the marketplace. We're working on a fix and hope to have this addressed as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience. They've added in the changes to the experimental changes to the librarians and the wandering trader in this one, so we don't need to cover those because it's exactly the same stupid changes as it was in the Java edition one.
Yep.
They've also added in the diamond door distribution. I didn't think that would come to Bedrock, but I'm so glad it has. So yeah, they're increasing the diamond door on Bedrock as well.
Did you see Exuma's video on the diamond ore generation changes?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God. He did a snapshot video on it. And there is just as much diamond ore as there is redstone. It was everywhere. I mean, absolutely everywhere. It was crazy.
So
there was so many diamonds in Deep Slate now.
So let me get my head around this.
Yep.
Mojang go with hidden away diamonds because, paraphrasing, but what they've said in public out loud, players are frustrated that there's so many diamonds and it's causing problems with economies. So we're going to reduce the number of diamonds you can find. It's going to be buried in Deep Slate, less frequent in certain areas, and mainly like you'll find it on the surface in water caves, right?
Yeah.
And then they go, players are still frustrated by having too many diamonds. I don't know which players these are. They must be allergic to diamonds or just don't like the colour blue. So we're going to make armor trims. This was their words. We need a fix for that. So we're going to make armor trims cost 7 diamonds to duplicate because that fixes the having too many diamonds problems. Right? They said that.
Yeah.
And now they're going, oh, people haven't got enough diamonds.
Here, look at this. I know this is kind of, unless you can show it on the screen. Look at this. I'm sending you a snapshot just from his video where he was running command blocks, going through, deleting everything. Look how many diamonds.
Yeah, that looks like it was the good old days in Java Edition, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's crazy. Yeah.
Joking aside, the reason for this has got to be that obviously there's a lot of hit back over the armor trims costing too many diamonds. So they're like, okay, right, we understand. And myself included, there's been a lot of pushback over the Deep Slate and the fact that it's not insta-mineable. They've obviously been getting telemetry and players moaning that not many people are just going mining for diamonds anymore because it's hard work.
What's the point?
Yeah. And because they're so rare. So it makes sense for them to make this change, to make diamonds more prevalent, to get more people back into mining again and grinding, because that's obviously the direction they want this game to go in, rather than just making armor trims cheaper. Because making armor trims cheaper doesn't get players playing for longer. It takes away that. So it's just quite clear at this moment in time that they want more people in the game. And I guess the reason for that is the more time people are in the game, the more likely they are to click on that marketplace button and tell their friends about it and join games with other people. Makes sense. So they're giving us they're incentivizing us to go mining rather than just making things cheaper, which I quite like. So I'm happy about that. But I still don't want to. I still want to be able to insta-mine through Deep Slate.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. There's some audio changes, which basically mean that audio will play in the right place now, which is nice. And there's some block changes, which I haven't actually read through, which is...
there's a nice one there. Pickaxes can now quickly mine pistons and sticky pistons.
Ooh, well, that's good. That's about time, isn't it? Oh, thank goodness for that. Yeah, that's great. That's a very good change. Lovely. Okay. Cherry Grove underwater fog now uses a transition that increases visibility after a while. So I guess it must have been pretty dark underwater in the Cherry Grove. A bit like it is in the swamp. Have you ever been in swamp water and you just can't see a thing?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's been fixed. What else have I got on my list so I don't have to go through this entire thing? Oh, crafting on touch controls. So there was a big hit back that they changed it. There used to be that when you'd hold your finger down on a crafting slot, it would rapidly craft lots of items. And they changed it so that it didn't do that, and they've put it back again, basically. So that's going to be making people happy. And then, all mobs can now pick up the Illager banner in their main hand, which I don't know if it's all mobs. It just says mobs. So I don't know why that's a thing.
I want to see a creeper walking around with the Illager banner on its foot. Yep.
But are you prepared for, unless I've read this wrong, and I might regret saying this in a minute, but I think this is probably one of the most stupid wastes of time that Mojang have ever done, and one of the most stupid things to ever exist in a changelog. But bear in mind, I might have read it wrong. You ready?
Okay.
They've added an optional game rule for limited crafting. Now, hear me out. The game rule is only relevant when recipe unlocking is enabled. When set to true, it prevents players from crafting recipes as not yet unlocked. It is off by default and can only be modified through the game rule command. Now, bear with me on my thought process here. What I understand from that is you can basically make it that if you haven't unlocked the recipe, you can't craft it, even if you know the crafting recipe. Correct?
What it sounds like.
Okay. If you haven't learnt the recipe, but you have the ingredients to craft it, then the game is broken. If you have the ingredients to craft it, the recipe should be unlocked. Right? Yeah?
Yeah.
So all this is doing is gone, if our system doesn't work, you can stop people from crafting things. What? I'm either missing something or this is the most stupid thing I've ever seen. Because that's how recipe unlocking works. You get the items and it shows you what you can craft with them, right?
Added an optional game rule for limited crafting.
Yeah.
The game rule is only relevant when recipe unlocking is enabled.
Yeah.
So I have recipe unlocking enabled.
Yeah.
You can't make something until you can find the stuff to make it.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it's set to true, it prevents the player from crafting recipes they have not yet
unlocked. Okay, so let's keep this simple. I want to craft a beacon. In order to be able to craft a beacon, I need a nether star, glass, and obsidian, right? If I have a nether star, glass, and obsidian, I've unlocked the beacon recipe. It will unlock. What situation will I have the ingredients where the recipe won't unlock? And in which case, isn't that just a bit like, well, I know the recipe and I've got the ingredients, why shouldn't I be able to craft it? What a stupid... What? I've got to be missing something here. Anyone? Excuse me, I don't understand. Okay. Okay, right, there's some big stuff coming in this one as well. The first one that's really exciting, I'm skipping through a lot of things here. Villagers are now prevented from gaining a profession while sleeping. So they can't decide that they want a different job while they're in bed. So that's pretty good.
Well, that's usually how I decide I want a different job.
And the formation of ice and snow is now controlled by random tick. I didn't realize it wasn't.
What was it controlled by before?
I don't know. The other thing that I found interesting, it says here, fixed a bug that caused the raid boss bar to automatically deplete to zero when the village was defeated. Well, if the village is gone, why would the raid bar not be there?
Yeah,
why would it stay? Because if the village is defeated, they win, right?
Yeah.
So the raid bar should go. I'm so confused. What's going on? Let's read the bug report on that, because that doesn't make any sense at all.
No, I need to see the bug report. Yeah.
Raid boss bar becomes completely empty automatically when defeated. This is not consistent with Java Edition, where the raid boss bar continues to function when the raid depleted until it disappears. Well, Java Edition have got it wrong then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, right. Let's get to the big one in this update. Let's skip through all of the technical updates and all of the other little bits and bob and get to the really big one that has got everybody very, very excited, and let me then deflate everybody's excitement and ruin their day. So should we have the discussion on this now before we get to the next one?
Where are we at? Oh, okay. I see where you're at. Yeah, go ahead. Have fun. This is you know more about this one than me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Ruin people's days.
Shaders in Bedrock Edition. Woo, woo, woo. Hey, we got shaders back. Everybody's the... No, we haven't. No. Although, every single YouTuber out there has made a video saying that there are shaders for Bedrock Edition now. I've even seen news articles coming out saying the best... Right, get this. I can't remember which one it was now, but a decent source that does normally do Minecraft news. I came up in my newsfeed the other day and it says best shaders for Bedrock Edition. Right? And then it went on to say, in order to install shaders on Bedrock Edition, you need to install Optifine or Forge Mod Loader, and these are the best ones, and they were all Java Edition ones. Right? But everybody has got their knickers in a twist about shaders. Let me just point out, right, first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to preface this with, this is great for people on Android and consoles that would like to have their game look a little bit more shiny. It's absolutely fantastic. I think it's brilliant. But this is not shaders. It is nowhere near shaders. This is never going to be shaders. It might be improved from what it is, but it's not going to be shaders, and it's never going to do what shaders could do. This is a very much watered-down version of what RTX did. So, they have PBR materials. All that means, and it's for entities as well, which RTX could never do. But basically, it means that you can give blocks and entities textures that also can be reflective, emissive, which means they give off light. It doesn't make them give off light. It just makes them look like they're bright, like they're glowing, but it doesn't actually give off any light. Even the blocks don't give off light in this one. And roughness. So you can make the textures look more interesting. You cannot make things like wavy water or wavy leaves. You cannot add chunk lines. You cannot do dynamic lighting. There is absolutely zero control over the light at all. You can make entities look like they're glowing. Blocks look like they're glowing. Blocks that are light blocks will give off light because they're light blocks, but they're not going to give off shadows. The only shadows come from the sun and moon. And the sun and moon can be controlled to be different colors, different brightnesses, and even different angles in the sky. So you can have your moon and your sun actually coming across at an angle. You can't do it as if it's seasonal, so it starts at one bit and goes slower down. It's either like across the sky or up in the sky. That's it, no change. But that's it. The other thing that it's got is something called bloom, which is when the light's shining through something, or when it's particularly bright, it will have a glow effect. It looks a bit naff, but it's there. There's no control over that. That's just toggleable. And it has something called tone mapping and atmospheric shading, which is basically fog, where makes it look when the light's shining through something like this a little bit dusty, so the light looks a little bit nicer, which is nice. Again, it's toggleable and it's not changeable. It is okay. It is slightly changeable with the resource pack, but it's not particularly great. So it's not shaders. The reason it's not shaders is what shaders were. That was actually changing the materials in the game that the game used to basically display things. And with shaders, you could really change the game to make it do what you wanted to do, because you were actually telling the game how it should process things like blocks and entities and water and fog and light. You could do incredible things with shaders. You could make things like chunk lines and dynamic lighting and light level packs and all that sort of stuff. But you can't do that with this. There are not going to be any shader packs that comes out that give you chunk lines or light levels or dynamic lighting, because these are not shaders. They're not going to be compatible with Java Edition shaders. You're not suddenly going to be able to put on Zeus's, whatever it is, Java Edition shaders. You need to get this into your heads. From this point on, this is not shaders. Mojang do not refer to them as shaders. It's not said anywhere that it's shaders. It isn't shaders. But you have shadows. It also looks awful. In my personal opinion. I tried to make a pack to utilize all these new features, and it just looks like a really naff version of RTX. But I get so many people playing on console and mobile have been dying for that for a long time, so it's great for them. Personally, I think this is a total waste of their time. This is a total waste of their time because shaders can exist on Bedrock. They've already done it. You know, that guy that made the better render dragon, all he did was hack into the material files and make them editable again so that you could have shaders. And that used to work in the resource pack. Mojang turned that off. They can turn that back on again like that. It would take no development time at all. But then instead, they've put... I don't know whether I should say this or not, but I saw a preview of this over 6 months ago due to my marketplace connections. It was just as bad then as it is now. I just think it's a total waste of time when we could just have shaders. Shaders are good. Okay, shaders are not particularly well optimized. They can cause a lot of lag on your device, but then you play with one that's not as laggy. I mean, the good thing about shaders being community driven is they've always been like, there's options. You get ones that are like ultra high resolution and ones that are lower and ones that don't have this and ones that don't have that. And the community is really good at understanding like the limitations of things and making sure they work on all the different versions. And it used to work. You know, I had shaders running on my phone when I used to have Minecraft on my phone when I used to do like cameras and stuff. So,
not shaders.
Yeah, I'm really glad it exists for those people that wanted RTX because it's the closest thing you're going to get. But it's so sad that they've put in all this time and effort when they could have just turned it back on again. I don't know why they didn't. It works. We've seen it working. We've seen YouTube videos of chunk lines and light levels in this version of Minecraft due to these just like hacky changes they made with the render dragon. And it wasn't like hacking into the main core game files. It was just literally decompiling the bin files, which all they are is the old shader files, but they're effectively just like encrypted. Effectively, that's not what they are, but that's effectively what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether to be excited or not about this. I know, like I say, I think it's great for all them people that wanted this. I'm just so sad that now everyone's going to be like, yay, we've got shaders. Why can't we have light levels? Why can't we have this? And it's just going to cause confusion. It's going to cause confusion when these people playing Java Edition have got shaders and they're like, how do I get those shaders on Bedrock Edition? Foxy No-Tail, can you make a shader pack that does this? Foxy I've already had it. I've already had 3 requests in comments. Can I make a shader pack that does this?
Oh, yeah, because we got shaders. No, we don't.
We don't have shaders, guys. We're not going to have shaders by the sounds of things. Now, they've pushed this as Render Dragon features for creators. And when they're talking about creators, they're talking about add-on creators, marketplace partners, basically.
Yeah.
I don't see how this is of any benefit to as a marketplace partner. And my reasoning for that is, if I wanted to make a resource pack for the marketplace, I have to make a complete resource pack that changes every single texture in the game significantly. Nothing can look like vanilla at all. How many people, how many partners could be bothered to make a completely unique resource pack and then just turn the light on so that it's got shadows? Why not just give shaders or just make
you can't even take those packs to another world though, on like the Xbox or something like that.
You can with the resource packs you can get from the marketplace. You can use them in global resources.
Okay, then you say you don't see it happening. No, I see it happening.
It will happen.
You see all these starved people on consoles who cannot get RTX. They will eat up any pack that says shaders RTX that they can use on their console.
Yeah, but but my point being, there's only a limited, unless it's only going to be stylized. No one can make a vanilla one, you know? No one can make a vanilla pack. No one can make a pack that looks vanilla. They're all going to be stylized. All they needed to do was just have this in the video menu as a toggle. Do you want the sun and moon shadows, yes or no? Right? They didn't need any more than that. So I guess, some partners will make money from this because they'll make stylized pack that use it. I might give it a go, but I don't know if I can be bothered to go through every single block, item, and entity in the game and update its textures and make it unique. I don't think I've got the time in my life to do that. But yeah, so what a brilliant thing to have come to the game for all of those people that want RTX on these different devices. But for me, it just hits home how much I miss shaders. That's one of the reasons I like going back to Java Edition, is just because how good it looks with shaders. And this doesn't. It doesn't look good. It's not even close.
No, the videos that I've seen that people have put out, I'm just like, no, that looks as fake as Minecraft does with the plastic texture pack. Yep.
I was fiddling with it, and I made a pack, and I thought, oh, okay, it's cool that we can have emissive entities now. So I basically you can either go through all of the entity like files and change the textures to make them emissive, but they have got a toggle. It's basically you can set like a general rule for blocks and entities. So I was like, I'm just going to turn all the entities to be like super bright, like glowing. And they did have the bloom around them. They were like really brightly glowing, but it looks weird because none of them are giving off any light. So the terrain doesn't change around them. So you just got this like cloud of bright light just floating. It just looks really fake. It's the same thing with the blocks. So I put on do you remember the Villain RTX pack that I tweaked and changed and put like disco balls in and all that sort of stuff? So I put that on there. And I turned up the brightness of the emissiveness of the blocks. And they look really, really bright, like the actual block, and the little bit of bloomy glow around them. But the light in the game doesn't change at all. But what's really weird, on RTX, because it is doing ray tracing, you get that like when an entity moves, its leg sort of dissolves from one place to the next. It's got that weird and when you place a block down, it kind of fades in. It's got that. Even though it's not doing ray tracing, it's got that. So it looks awful, in my personal opinion, compared to shaders. Shaders have been around. This is the thing. Shaders have been around for 10 plus years. And 10 years ago, they looked better than this. This is my frustration. We're 10 years on to a point where mobile devices can handle shaders really well. Yet they give us this. It's not the same. It's not as good. So here's an ice cream, but the ice cream's made of chalk. Why? Well, chalk's cheaper. Don't make as much mess. It doesn't drip down your face.
Isn't that American ice cream?
But it doesn't taste very nice. It doesn't taste very nice at all. But I had ice cream 10 years ago. It was really nice. Yeah, well, this better for you, honestly. Yeah, have this. You have different colours. What a shame. I really want to be really positive about this because I know so many people are happy about it. But it just makes me sad that why don't they just give us shaders back? I want to know what it is. What do you think? What could possibly be their reasons internally for not letting us fiddle with those material files?
Because there's a contract deal with NVIDIA for so many years that they can't.
No, I don't think it's that.
It has to be offered as is.
I think this is Microsoft now owns these materials. We don't want people having access to being able to make their game look the way we do. I think that's what it comes down to. But the crazy thing is, when we could actually edit those before they locked them up and you looked into them, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them even had notes in it written saying, this is a test thing brought over from this test experiment we were doing, and that was what was running the main graphics of the game. So, oh man, geez. Anyway, right, that's enough of that changelog. That's enough of me ranting about the fact that we do not have shaders in Bedrock Edition.
But Foxy, we have shaders. That's why this person made a video saying they have shaders.
No, we don't. Okay, the next beta and preview came out today, which is 1.20.30.21, and this has some more audio updates, which is really good. But this one has some genuinely bad news in its Slack. But me and you can't say anything, bud, because we have both said, as we agreed at the beginning here, that if it's a bug, it should get patched, right?
No.
Okay. The discount when curing a zombie villager no longer increases when the same villager is reinfected and cured multiple times. Is that the zombie villager farms when the zombie villager dies, or is that just the thing that they did in Java Edition that's now in Bedrock Edition?
The discount for curing the zombie villager no longer increases when the same villager is reinfected and cured multiple times. That's only when they're cured.
So that's not going to affect our zombie spoiler trading halls.
It shouldn't, but that's an easy fix for them to do anyways. I'm surprised they haven't implemented that yet.
Because I'm sure last update, we got one that was either very, or maybe they put it in but didn't actually fix it and they've just put it in again then. Because I'm sure we had something. But when I first read, this only came out today, so I only skimmed through it. And when I read that as that's going to ruin our trading halls.
No, I mean, in technicality, how the mechanics on this, on the one that we use with the cheaty work is, well, the first way they can fix it is just to remove zombie villagers from the spawner like they did in Java. That would nuke it out of existence. But it's not it's the zombie villager coming into existence that gives a discount. It's the weirdest thing ever. It doesn't play by the same rules. So honestly, I have no clue without going in and testing. But it doesn't. You're getting a discount based on something different. It's like it's a random piece of game code in there that shouldn't be.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Well, I'm sure that we'll get patched at some point.
It'll get patched.
Witches now throw healing and regeneration potions at raiders during a village raid.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's not parity change. Well, maybe
No.
it is, but it's not in the parity thing. So that's just, they just decided that should happen, which is weird.
Yeah, see, if it was a parody, it'd be a vanilla parody change.
Yeah, that's a really, really bizarre thing for them to just add in. I quite like it, but it's, weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a change that we got, the other side doesn't have. So who's going to be the right way at the end of the day? Are we going to have two separate ways? Is Java going to be one way and Bedrock going to be one way? Because let's take raid farms for example right now. Bedrock gets books. Java does not.
Exactly. Vanilla parity. Players can now toggle flying when crawling or sneaking in creative mode, which is nice. What else have I got on my list? Because there was a few things on here, but nothing particularly exciting. But there was one thing that excited me. We got a whole bunch more skulk vibration things going on, which is nice. So It's really nice to see them keep adding to this list, because that was something we were desperately missing when that update came out.
Yeah, we're getting more parity with that. Yep.
Yeah. And this. They've added a new all the experimental toggles at the minute, Slack. To video menu for players on Windows, which reduces input latency, enabling the setting will increase battery consumption. So, do you remember when 120 came out and we were saying, this is weird, I'm clicking loads and it doesn't seem to be... Yeah, so now there's going to be a toggle to fix that on Windows. So that's nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And that's about it, really. There's a bunch of other stuff, but not particularly exciting. What is exciting, though, if you play Minecraft Education Edition, if you use it for school or whatever, then the Trails and Tales is finally out for you guys, which means you can have access to all of the Trails and Tales features in your Education Edition world, which is absolutely fantastic. You're going to be getting the sniffers and the snifflet and the camels and the bookshelves and the bamboo and all those good things. So congratulations. You're only, nearly a year late?
Something like that.
When did it come? It was June, wasn't it? It came out in June.
Yeah,
So it's like 3 months late. 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's nice to see. And then there's another big topic, which I should have done more reading on this topic, but I haven't. But basically, Minecraft have updated their EULA, their end user license agreement, and they have made some pretty significant changes. Now, I watched a video by the Phoenix MC on this, and it went into a little bit of detail, but not much, because he only does 5-minute videos.
No.
But basically, Mojang are cracking down on the use of their IP in other things. So, like naming Minecraft, anything with Minecraft as the primary asset in the title is bad. Minecraft with sponsorships, even Minecraft videos on YouTube.
Yep.
Now, there's been a bit of backlash about this. Oh, go on, Slack.
I was going to say, so like if you did the Minecraft survival guide, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
But there's some backlash on this because they've changed a few things. So one of the things that they've changed was that, I'm going to get rid of that because it's full of adverts and it's doing me head in. One of the things that they changed was that they said previously, we're okay with saying the Block Update podcast, a Minecraft podcast. But this time they've reworded that very specifically to say, we're okay with saying the Block Update podcast, a Minecrafters podcast. So they've changed the word Minecraft to Minecrafters. So they're basically dumbing down on any use of the word Minecraft in any form of like material. They've also said that even if you're not making this content commercially, you should follow the commercial guidelines. And the commercial guidelines are obviously much more stricter than the other ones. There's a whole bunch of changes for what's acceptable with servers now, like hosting servers and things like that. And what was the other big one that was, no, it's on the top of my tongue, but it's just disappeared. Slack, you talk about it for a minute while I try and remember.
Another one that's causing issues is for people who make outside Minecraft content, in a sense. Like, we'll just use Puka as an example. Using Minecraft assets and stuff like that. You can't use Minecraft characters or blocks or anything like that. It's a big red tape nightmare for people to do that kind of stuff. Servers like LB2T, a server that's been on forever, how they have a queue to join. No, you can't do that because people could pay to skip the queue. Nope, that's no longer a thing. Can't do that. That's causing issues with that. They've also added in, more or less, if they don't like your content, they can take it down.
That's it. That's what I was going to say. So yeah, the wording they used was that if we don't like it, then we can take it down, whatever it is. That's not law. But there's no law that says they can do that.
No, and then on top of that, like if you actually try to go view the EULA from the UK, you can't. It's blocked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's blocked. And even in one part of the changes, it says this conflicts with EU law.
Yeah. So
you're trying to enforce stuff that legally you can't in other countries.
This is another case of, and it's so sad to see a lot of companies doing this now, these big corporations basically saying, these are our terms and conditions. We have no legal right to do this, but we dare you to come against us.
Yeah.
we don't care. We're too big. We're too big. And this isn't, let's just be honest here, this isn't Mojang. This is coming from Microsoft. So don't get angry at the developers for this because it's not their fault. They'll just be just as annoyed about it as everyone else. But it is a real problem for the fact that this game is only as successful as it is because of all the creations, because of all of the things it's been used for. But this doesn't just reflect in everything that everyone's doing. This has now had a knock-on effect to the marketplace. I've had now 3 packs sent back to me that have failed because the block font that I used, even though it's nowhere near looking like the Minecraft font, they have claimed it's too similar to the Minecraft font, so I can't use it. Any block font that you try and use for like a title or a thumbnail on the marketplace, they will now reject because they can. But it's not a Minecraft font. It doesn't look anything like a Minecraft font. It's just a block font, which block fonts are used in everything. That they've decided, no, that's ours. No, it's not. Nothing to do. So, it's not just the people on the outside, it's the people on the inside too that are suffering from this. And it's absolutely, it's crazy. I mean, realistically.
Here, see if you can go to this site. This is on Minecraft.net. I've known several people in the UK that can't go to it.
Yeah, I can get to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Realistically.
The essential guideline changes are just crazy.
Most people are not going to be affected by this. This is only going to be used in rare circumstances where, there is a real problem and Mojang or Microsoft need to deal with it. Let me just bring up this doc then. Most of the time, it's not going to be a problem at all. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But what I would say is just like, what this this is how do I explain it? If I wanted to make a review video on Minecraft and I wanted to point out all the rubbish stuff they were doing, how bad things were, maybe I'd had some insight into the development process. Maybe I'd been for a tour of the studios, or maybe I'd seen something more, or maybe I knew someone that worked there and I had some information that I haven't. I'm just totally theoretical. And I wanted to just make a video pointing this out. If I put Minecraft anywhere near it or had any of Minecraft's stuff in the video, even if it's just like gameplay or sounds or something like that, according to this, they can take it down if they don't like it, which is just wrong. That's not freedom of speech, is it, Slack?
No, it's not. And then there's two minor things I want to point out here. If you go to the essential guidelines and you scroll down, there's an area there spammed in caps locks. You got to put a disclaimer on your servers, not an official Minecraft servers provided by Mojang or Microsoft anymore.
Yeah, but these are, let's not get carried away here. Bear in mind, those are for public servers, not private servers. You do not have to do that for your patron servers. You don't have to do that on your servers with friends. These are,
then let's go down.
Public servers.
Let's go down to video streams and screenshots then.
Oh, hang on. One moment, please. There's many minutes.
You're looking.
I think I'm nearly there. No.
Yep, you're getting close.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you're allowed to put footage of your gameplay on YouTube, Twitch, and any other website which makes money for them, as long as all videos in there entirely are free to view. For example, there is no paywall or other charges to view your video.
Right, so you can't have a Minecraft video that's for YouTube members only.
You can't put a Minecraft video behind a Patreon wall, like exclusive. Okay,
yeah, or a YouTube members one.
Right, but exactly. But what about Twitch? I can go live on Twitch to only my subs. Does that violate their rule?
Yeah,
but they just said I could put it on Twitch.
You could do it. You could do it to Discord for your VIPs as well, and you're violating the rules. You are allowed to put footage of your game on YouTube or Twitch or any other website and make money from them as long as they're free to view. Simple. Now, if you've got it private, how do they know? Unless someone's recording it and they send it in. In which case, the most they can do is ask you to take down any VOD of it, tell you to stop doing it again, or at the very worst, sue you for the amount of revenue you made from that stream, which will be very little and not worth their time doing. So I won't worry about it. It's just noise.
I get it. They're covering themselves on a lot of grounds, but it's I mean, it's a good thing we changed the name of the podcast, isn't
it? You can't just include your logo, web address, or overlays on top of our or someone else's gameplay. Reserve the right to decide if your content is unique enough. So basically,
so you can't do long plays, ASMR videos, or something like that.
No, that's saying if you're just using like the footage that they've released to the public of like a trailer or something like that, you can't just take that, put your logo on it, and and then just post it as yours. So I think there's nothing in there that's going to affect anyone really. And that other one you talked about, what was that server that you mentioned?
Oh, you have to have a disclaimer anytime somebody joins a server.
No, the one before that, there was a particular server that you mentioned about that have a pay to skip the queue.
2B2T.
Yeah. Now, that was one of the things that the Phoenix MC brought up, and there's some contradicting stuff on that, because on one hand, they said you can't do something similar to that, but on the other hand, as they said, as long as everybody's paying the same amount, you can. And that there was only one amount. There was $19.99 for a month's worth of being able to skip the queue. So according to that, their terms and conditions say that's okay. So the problem is this is a total minefield. Nobody knows what's right or wrong now because it just doesn't make a great deal of sense. It is what it is. But yeah, here's that bit. The Shaft, a Minecrafters podcast. We're cool with this. That used to just say The Shaft, a Minecraft podcast. So, but Minecraft, the ultimate help app, we're not cool with this. Minecraft, the ultimate Kotoba service for Redstone, we're not cool with this. But you can put Kotoba Mine as a Minecraft server for Redstone builds, we're cool with that.
So, but they're allowing Minecraft there, but they've changed that specifically from Minecraft to Minecrafters. So it's weird.
It is weird changes. Now, like you said, it's not going to affect most people.
No.
It probably won't affect 99% of people out there, but it's going to affect some people.
No. And it just means that, people are just... The thing is, when you get rules like this, people... If they like you said, if I wanted to put a patron video out there or a YouTube members video out that's on Minecraft, it's not going to stop me.
No.
It's not, because what do they gain by first of all, they can't shut it down. They could ask me to take down the video, I guess, but they don't know if I've done that because unless they sign up as a patron or YouTube channel member. But they're not going to go any further than that because it's not going to make any difference to them. And they're only going to do that if they don't like your content. If you're doing something that they really don't like you doing, like, maybe you've got some really offensive attitude, or maybe you're saying some really horrible things about Minecraft, or maybe you're doing things like, promoting gambling to children or something like that. They're only going to, do this if they're concerned about the use of their branding with what you're doing.
Yeah, this feels like Microsoft changes, though, not Mojang.
Absolutely. 100%.
Clear on that one, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, there we go. Big changes in Minecraft. Lots and lots of changes at the moment, but still no sign of any news or hints to what's coming in the next update. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing about that in the next month or two. So I'm looking forward to that. But it just seems there's so much work going on anyway. It's crazy how much work's going on both systems as well. Like Java were quiet all that time, and then they came out with boom, look at all these ridiculous, crazy technical updates we're doing, and villager changes, and this and that. It's crazy. So good job, Mojang. You're doing a good job giving us all this stuff. You're obviously working very, very hard at the moment. But Slack, some might say, not working hard where it counts, because we're still getting bug reports in the Bugdate.
Oh, are we? Oh.
Yeah, have you got a bug report this week?
No.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to jump straight into Plod's bug, which is skeleton horses now count as hostile mobs when you try to sleep near them. There is a really old bug report for this when it was an issue in version 1.1 of the game. But then he gave me a new bug report. So, yeah.
Good talk.
They're not, I guess they're not a hostile mob, are they? The skeleton horses. They are if they've got a skeleton on the back.
Well, maybe that's because when they spawn in with a skeleton on them. So it's classifying them as a hostile mob at first.
Yeah, but the game should count that skeleton separately, shouldn't it?
Well, you would think, but apparently something's changed in there, so it doesn't now.
Yeah. Okay. Next bug report, please, Mr. Lizard.
Bouncy Ball says, hello, block update crew. I found a bug. If you eat 2 golden apples one after the other, your absorption hearts will stack. I only tested this in 1.20. 1.20.10 might still work in the most recent version. This bug has been around for a while.
Yeah. It's been
I've seen a couple people talking in the Discord about this one. They're like, oh, this should be a feature. This should stay. No, it's a bug. It's definitely a bug. This is where I'm going to argue with you on that one. Yeah, it's nice to stack up to 10 hearts and all that, but no, it's too cheaty, especially for something you can craft. Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't understand why the enchanted golden apple had to be removed. My theory with Minecraft is, if you can afford it, why not? Yeah. It's your game. If you want to be able to insta-mine Deep Slate, why not? Why put limits in? Why not extend the end game? They want us to grind and do more stuff and last longer in the game. Well, extend the end game. Bring more stuff in at a later stage. The end game stops dead, and there's nothing you can do beyond that.
I agree. If I want to use 8 gold blocks and an apple to make a enchanted golden apple, I should be allowed to. The fact that they took it away just felt wrong.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay, right. So the next one is from... I'm on the wrong thing now because I've been fiddling with the other things. Okay, it's from Xenon. Or Xenon, or whatever you say. Shulkers can teleport into anything. Trapdoors, rails, buttons, leaves in water, and slabs. It makes moving them near impossible. Please upvote. It's incredibly annoying. Shulkers are put in impossible places when exiting minecarts. Yeah. And then if you take them through the end portal, they end up,
30,000 blocks up in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you have your world spawn moved. Yeah.
Good job. Okay. Last one, Slack.
Never Girl is up next and says, "Hi, Foxy and Slack. I play on the realm with my friends, and I build to work on big projects. I build up with dirt to reach the high up places of the build. But recently, when I'm building up with my dirt, I place a piece of dirt and it'll disappear. It'll go back into my inventory and I'll get pushed off of the block. I don't know if anyone else has this problem anyways. Really like the podcast. Keep up the good work." Yeah. Never Girl died from fall damage falling off of her dirt tower. Yeah, that is one of the most annoying bugs in the game right now when you're pillaring up. It thinks the block wasn't placed, so it puts you back on the block, and then it places the block and knocks you off. Yep.
Yeah, there does seem to be a little bit. It's not the same block lag that we used to get. It seems like it's almost trying to detect that, because it won't place the block with as an entity, including the player. And sometimes you can jump up and it'll place the block below you before you've gone down. But sometimes I think it must think you're lower down than you are, because it like half places the block, then takes it away again. It's weird.
That feels like the same bug of just, like standing on a chest and not knowing where you're at. And the random damage when you're flying. Oh, you're in the void. No, I'm not. Good talk game.
If you think you found a bug in Minecraft Bedrock Edition, then you can let us know by emailing us at dues@theblockupdate.com, filling in the feedback form on the website, or joining our Discord. The links for all of those are in the description below. This week's tip of the week is from RoboRufus7, who says you can craft stone calls out of deep slate, and if flying in the nether, always carry a totem of undying so that if you fall in lava and your elytra breaks, you won't die. Well, you will if you land in the middle of lava. Depends how close you are to the edge.
Totem I haven't tested this in a while, but if a totem busted in the lava, it used to give you 5 minutes of safety.
Really?
And speaking of which, that's one of those parity changes where our feature went to Java, because we get fire protection from the totem pop and they used to not. Now they do.
I didn't realize that. Oh, I just carry a totem in the nether now. Yep. What's your life tip of the week, Slack?
If your camera stand keeps breaking, clamp it down tighter. Yep.
I'll just put a note in there to remember to ask you next week. Jeez. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, it is time for our week in Minecraft and find out all of the things that we've been up to inside of the game. Starting with Slack, what have you been up to this week, bud?
Well, I see our number one thing is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Fishing.
Myth busting.
Oh, yes. No. I read the wrong one.
Yeah. You don't have fishing there. Myth busting. Which I've really been enjoying that series that we've been doing.
Yeah, me too. It's great.
Are your videos doing pretty good still?
No, they're all right. Yeah, they're not too bad. Right. Because I've got so many shorts going out now, my views are back up, but you get no money from shorts.
No, nothing.
I've had $2 from about 20,000 views, which is lovely.
Great.
Yeah. But some videos do better than others, but I don't know. My views as a whole are still lower than what they used to be, which is a shame. My subs are still up, my income's still up, everything else is still up. My views are up, I guess, as a whole, but yeah, views per video seem to be a lot less than they were, regardless of what video I put out.
Yeah, that seems about the same for me. But this week in Minecraft for me, well, I took a lot of time off over the weekend, but still been working on the Super Sorter of Doom on Slackville, my forever Slackville world. It's slowly getting it there little by little. And then other from that, the only other thing really going on in Minecraft for me, because I haven't played no Minecraft aside from working on the Forever Slackville world, is the seasonal based Slackville. We decided that we're going to reset it coming up on the 1st of September. September 1st, we're going to reset that. So looking for a new map on that and everything. Other than that, my week has been pretty quiet in Minecraft.
Nice. Good. Okay. Well,
what about you?
I have also been doing myth-busting. This week, myth-busting, me and you figured out that signs. So, all that fuss, not so many updates ago when glow signs came out, how laggy glow signs were. You only needed a handful of them in your world to create serious lag. And I'm not talking
lag on the server, but like frames per second, client-side lag was awful. It has turned the opposite direction. Glow signs are now absolutely fine, but signs with just writing on are really laggy. Not as bad as glow signs used to be, but like when you got a bunch of them, then we had a significant frames per second drop, didn't we? Yes,
Yeah.
Foxy.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was glancing at the Discord. I had an emergency DM. Everything's fine. Yep.
Okay, so fair enough. Yeah, so that was really weird that was the case. And we both thought that hanging signs were going to be laggy, and they're not, which is
Yeah. I've had quite a few comments on that, though. Oh, you didn't do, you did the test sign with 4 layers of text, and then the next sign you only did with 1.
Yeah. Mine's not come out yet. Mine comes out tomorrow, so I'll probably get all of those as well. And then, what else do we do? Oh, yeah, item frames never run render, but the items in them do, which is weird.
Which is a weird one. That is a very weird one.
And then we did the containers, didn't we? Like, what's the most laggy container? And yeah, it turns out that Bedrock Edition's just pretty well optimized for having massive redstone things these days, isn't it? Which is bizarre.
Oddly enough, yeah.
You need a lot of stuff to start causing any lag.
Yeah, you need a whole lot. A whole lot. And another side bonus from that is because we've been doing the Mythbusters, like I've gotten several DMs and people chiming in on streams. They're like, hey, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? So I've actually in my private Discord got a Mythbusters channel with all kinds of things for us to test. So we've got several episodes to come.
Well, that's good. We've actually had a few ideas on the podcast as well. In fact, we had 2 pieces in feedback this week that I haven't added to feedback, like for the show, because they were myth-busting ideas. I changed, we had a news ideas channel. I've changed it to content ideas. So if anyone's got any ideas for myth-busting that you would like us to myth-bust, then please throw that in the content ideas channel on the podcast Discord, or Slack's one on his Discord, because, we're going to continue doing this for as long as we enjoy it, I guess, as long as we keep turning up.
Yeah. And these are very, what I would call more technical videos, and my watch time on these has been absolutely crazy.
Watch time's really good on them. Yeah.
Like, they may not pull the same views, but they're pulling just loads of watch time. It's been great.
They are fun to edit, though.
I wouldn't know I got watchful.
Yeah. Well, from my perspective, they're really fun to edit, Slack.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying I should try to edit one week, huh?
Oh, well, each one we record like 2.5 hours worth of like just all of the stuff in between, and like it's okay. And then like, because I've been turning them into shorts as well, the container one, trying to turn all of that into 1 minute or less Slack, that was fun. It's hard enough getting down to like 25-30 minutes. Getting down to 1 minute, I did it though. Okay, the other things that I've been doing, I just mentioned, I've been making shorts. I've been pushing shorts out there a little bit because I wanted to dabble my toe in, really. I'd done a few over the past before, and I noticed not so long ago that for all of the shorts I'd ever done, I'd had a lot more subscribers from those per short than I had from like equivalent number of videos. So I thought I'd throw a few shorts out there and see how that went. So I've got a big old list of things that I've got to make from shorts. I'm trying to get them from my live streams as well. For like clips from the live streams. I'm trying to get them from like the add-on videos and things like that I'm making. So that there's that. And but actually in Minecraft, all I've really been doing is the live stream Truly Bedrock continuing the Skyscraper Village, other than the myth busting. I've been mist-busting again. Which is coming together. I'm getting some big old skyscrapers built in there now. I changed the road out, so it's all coming together using some terracotta and concrete. I quite like the look of it, really. I need to finish the road system off and add a couple more buildings in, but yeah, it's coming together. It's nice. I actually feel like I've got an area on the server that's, not just Uncle Junk in one place and a little bit of this here and a little bit of that there. It's slowly coming together.
You mean my base? Yeah, gotcha.
No, what my base has been all season. Jeez. Okay, right. That is it for our weeks in Minecraft. We are now going to be going into the wish list. But before we do, Slack, I need toilet. Need to. I need.
Yep.
Be happy, guys.
Be right back.
Right, where were we? Wish list. Yes, the wish list.
Yes.
You've got a wish this week, Slack.
Yep. It's something I've wished for a while, but I've got a few ideal modifications for it this time.
Okay.
So a quick move option. Let's say in Java, they've got the shift double click where you can move all the items from one container to another, right?
Yes.
I want a button at the top of my inventory where I can just if I open up a chest, and say inside that chest there's stone, there's redstone, there's this, I can either move all of my inventory into that chest, or I can move just the things that are in my inventory that match what's in the chest to the chest.
Like I did with my sorter add-on.
Yeah.
I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good idea, Slack. Be good if someone made an add-on that did that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be good if it still worked.
Yeah, it does need updating. Yeah. Well, they keep changing the beta system and I can't keep up with it. Jeez, I got a lot to do. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I would very much like. How hard would it be for them to just add a bunch of buttons in the inventory that allowed you to sort things? Why not? Why is that not Minecrafty? I spent my life sorting out inventory stuff. It's so annoying. And why haven't we got quick transfer?
Yeah. Oh, there's an add-on in 7 days, and I've seen it in a lot of other crafting games that do that. But there's one in 7 days that I absolutely love now. It's my favorite thing ever. You walk into your storage room. If you have a chest nearby that has the item, you can just press this button, and anything will go into its appropriate chest. Just
wow, that'd be nice. That'd be so good. Just surround yourself with shulker boxes and chests and just boop. Yes, please.
You can. There's two options for it. You can either take all from your inventory and put into those chests, or you can replenish your inventory by pulling the stuff that's in your inventory into your chest, from your chest to your inventory. So you can either dump off or restock.
Nice. Oh, that'd be great.
No. That'd be nice.
That would be good. Yes, good idea. It's like it's going in the bin. Jeez.
Good. I like that.
ScrubLordXL says, with all the controversy around the crafting table recipe achievements, I got to thinking, what about a brewing stand? I think there should be a brewing stand recipe book. There have been many times I need to look up the recipes for potions. I feel like it would be very helpful to have a brewing stand recipe book. Right. Why not? Yes. Good idea.
Yeah, I would say that's a good idea because I use a modified texture pack that when you open the brewing stand, it literally tells you all the brewing potions and what they do. Yep.
How hard would that be for them to add that in? If we've
it could be right on the brewing stand.
Exactly. If we've got a crafting book, why can't we have a brewing book? Yeah, 100%. Yep. Crazy that that's not in the game. When they added in the recipe book, I honestly thought, it won't be long before we get that.
No.
Oh, we want you to go to the wiki, but we don't want any mechanics in the game where a player has to exit the game and go and find the information online. But the wiki, have you thought about going to the wiki? The wiki's good, isn't it?
But then they'll say specifically that the wiki is not a standard for how the game mechanics work. Yeah, if you go to fill out a bug on the bug report tracker, the first thing it'll do is link you to the wiki. Anyway, M2 Lansky's up next and says, I wish the enchantment table could give us 3 good enchantment options, 30 levels max instead of just 1. Yeah, I agree. The whole enchanting station needs to be revamped.
Yeah, it doesn't work the way it works, does it? No. I mean, it works a lot better than it did. I mean, you go back far enough, and if it was a level 30 enchantment, it would cost you 30 levels. And you didn't know what you were getting because it was all in space text or whatever it is, galactic alphabet. So
yeah, that's true.
There was no hover over it and see what it is. It was just
pure gamble, and you'd lose all 30 levels versus losing 2 now.
Yeah. So I'm not going to put that in the good ideas bin because it's not very specific. But I would we do need an update for the crafting enchantment table. 100%. And this could go hand in hand with these villager changes. So it's a good time for them to be doing something like that. But I doubt they will.
Yeah, I agree.
ScrubLordXL is back again, Slack.
Oh, nice.
Also,
back.
A couple of weeks ago, you guys were talking about sorting your shulkers and decided on stickers for helping identify which shulker it was. I think that a stencil could also be a cool option. I think it could be something like a banner pattern, and you could put it on the box, a block or shulkers with different dyes. Ideally, with this concept, the stencil pattern would be rotatable, like items in item frames, or you could have different patterns, crossbones on. Yeah, no, too complicated. Too complicated. Sorry, bud.
Sorry, ScrubLord, too complicated. Lucy is up next and says, my wish is to be able to put the infinity enchantment on a water bucket so it doesn't need to be refilled every time I use it.
Stackable buckets. That's all we need. Why can't buckets be stacked? Because it is annoying. You want to fill up an area and you've got an inventory full of buckets of water. It isn't. And you've got an infinite water source right there. So it's not, you're not losing anything from the gameplay there. You're not affecting the mechanics being able to just have stackable water buckets. So
I would agree. Stackable buckets, not infinity. Because if you put infinity on that, why can't I have infinity lava? Yeah, so stackable I'm fine with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wyoming Asian coffee. Excuse me, I'm just choking on my lemonade here. Says, hi, Slack and Foxy. My wish list idea would be to expand the copy or move command to allow bigger structures. My idea would be to move the Woodland Mansion. I understand I can go to the mansion and set up my base there. I'd just like to be able to move it to my base. Please go easy on me, lol. Thanks. I don't know about moving the Woodland Mansion, but yeah, it would be great if the fill command, clone command, all of those things could be as much bigger than they are. And the thing is, they were. And then recently they tied them in with the simulation distance, which just makes life a nightmare now. They're so, like, just, it's out of bounds, so you can't do it. I think if you can...
It's like when we're doing the testing. We can't even do more than one chunk without me going to the other side and loading for
Exactly. You. I think if you can see it, you should be able to copy it, right?
Yeah, I agree. I wish structure blocks were bigger. I have such a good use for structure blocks. I love structure blocks.
Yeah. There's been so many times I've been limited with structure blocks and like especially like marketplace stuff or making maps, having to copy. There was one thing I made and it was Infinity Dungeon. I needed to get an area of a world to put it into a void world. And it was like 30 structure blocks next to each other, one at a time to put in, and trying to get them in the right order and in the right place when you paste them into a void. Oh, it was a nightmare. So yeah, why not? Why not? If you at the end of the day, I can understand there will be a big old tick lag while it processes all that information to put it into the file. But there shouldn't be a limit on the file size, because if you've got enough disk space, why not? And, the game should pause so the tick lag won't be an issue. If you're in an inventory in a single player world, it should pause.
I agree.
Or just not try and process it all in one tick. Do you remember, when we were doing these container tests and every time I opened a structure block, it would take, lag the game out. Why is it doing it in one tick? Stop it. Yeah, so, good idea to increase range.
No, totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Okay. Oh, it's just a good idea because they already said that. So, yeah, good idea. Well done.
Yeah. Yep.
You next.
Oh God, there's that name
Peony.
Again. Peony. See, I'm from Kentucky. You just gotta get over that. Wouldn't it be grand to have quartz walls? And wouldn't it be great if copper aged just a little bit faster when placed in a beach biome? Still place them spaced apart, but just age a bit faster. Now, I'm gonna say quartz walls. I could care less. But this copper thing's been brought up so many times before. Just build with it. It'll age on its own.
There is some method in the madness there. Like, a beach biome is going to have a naturally humid, salty air. Like a swamp biome is going to be naturally more moist and humid. So, yes, technically it should age faster in those biomes, but just have to remember, guys, it's a game. It's not real life. I was about to say,
can't we have saltwater oceans and freshwater lakes, and they have different mechanics?
Well, we kind of do. We've got warm oceans that have different types of fish than rivers and stuff. But
what if it affected? Saltwater is you take there's a certain sea out there. It's got so much salt content in it that people are more or less buoyant in it. So what if we took salt water from the ocean and used it in our mob farm, and it made the mobs move quicker to the kill chambers?
Don't be ridiculous, Slack. You're just being silly now.
Okay.
Kane says, I would love more options to the mob griefing rule. As far as I know, the option is just on or off. I'm so sick and tired of Endermen picking up random blocks and putting them wherever they want, and creepers leaving holes everywhere. But turning mob grooming off takes away so much, like half of the villager mechanics. I think you can't even breed them anymore since they can't pick anything up with the rule set to off, so a bit more options would be great. Yeah, totally agree. The mob griefing rule is totally stupid. The fact that all of those things are tied in together. Yeah, Enderman picking up blocks should be a toggle. Creeper explosions should be a toggle. Villagers farming should be a toggle. It should all be toggleable. Yeah. I do have a mob griefing, customizable mob griefing pack on foxandhotel.com that you can download. You can basically choose what you want and it'll give you the resource pack. But you shouldn't have to do that. It should be just part of the game.
Yep. I agree.
Good idea.
And we got Irish Viking up next, and they say, my wish list item is some way to easily put an on and off switch on a magma cube or a blaze spawner.
There should be a way of preventing those spawning. They're absolutely sure.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually shut down a blaze spawner by putting a piece of glowstone on each side.
No, you can't.
You put it. Yes, you can. I've done it. And
that's changed
in the most recent updates.
That's changed because I remember filling the entire thing up, like from the ground to the top. I mean, bear in mind how far down it is, the lava, yeah?
Yeah, I know.
All the way to the top, filling in the entire thing, and blazes were then spawning underneath the lava at the bottom. Nowhere near the spawner. It was crazy. So
yeah, I've killed blaze spawners many a times with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pieces of glowstone.
Really? Well, you can't do that with magma spawners.
No, you can't do that with magma. No, well, we tried that when we did the frog farm. Yeah, no. So yes, I agree. They should follow more better rules on those. So yes, it's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, Zenman16 says, I would like to be able to have villagers follow me when I'm holding an emerald, much like other mobs follow you when they hold up their favourite food. This would make moving villagers around much less frustrating. A fun idea, make villagers able to ride horses. If the horse is fitted with a saddle, the reins could go in the villagers' crossed arms to make it look a little bit more natural. Right-click the horse to get them off. This could also be another way to move villagers around, as you could put a lead on the horse. Okay, first of all, it would be better on llamas because you can have a train of llamas, can't you? What do they call it? What's the word for all the llamas following each other?
Oh my God!
And there's precedent there for the law with the wandering trader turning up with llamas. Caravan, that's it. Well done. So yeah, having villagers just snap onto a llama wearing a carpet would be kind of cool. I kind of like that. That would actually be really good fun, wouldn't it? That'd be brilliant.
But then the wandering trader shows up in your villager trading hall. The llama gets too close to your villager trading hall. Your villager jumps on the llama and the trader runs off with him.
Maybe they can't go on trader llamas, but normal llamas. Well, yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually. I think villagers being able to go on llamas, it makes sense because the wandering trader has llamas and he's a villager. So I'd be happy to put that in the good ideas bin. I don't know where the Slack will be. I think villagers...
Llamas, yes. Emeralds, I'm going to say no on. And the riding horses, no.
Okay, right. Let's go to the problem is with the villagers following you for the emerald. I think that's a good idea, but the problem is Mojang don't want to basically promote humanoid characters being able to be manipulated in such ways, which is why they make it particularly difficult to move villagers around, which again goes against this whole idea of having to create a new village in a biome that doesn't have a natural village in it. There's a whole big mess. They need to just turn villagers into a mythical creature instead of a villager. You know, take the humanoid aspect out of it and then, let them follow you for an emerald or something. Why not?
Yeah. I would agree on that. Yeah.
And then we don't have to worry about all of the other, issues that is it a man or a woman? Is it sexist? Is it racist? All those things that come up with villagers. No, just make him some sort of mythical creature and then all of those problems go away.
Yep. Yeah, that would be nice. Yep.
Yeah. So, no, can't go in the good ideas bin as it is, but there we go.
Stitch Fix is up next and says, give the wandering trader items that are unobtainable and peaceful, such as bones, blaze rods, wither skulls, gunpowder, and phantom membrane.
I don't think... they'd have to be very expensive if they're going to have wither skulls. I don't think they should be able to have wither skulls.
Yeah, I don't agree with the wither skull, but blaze rods, I could totally get behind that.
Yeah, blaze rods, bones...
Bones, you can get bone meal still. You can use composter and still get bone meal. So I'd say no on that.
Yeah, okay.
Gunpowder's already in there as a wandering trader trade.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Phantom membranes are totally useless. You don't need them. You never ever need them. Just get mending on your elytra. Just go make a village in a swamp.
You can't even get an elytra in peaceful.
Because you get no, because
not in peaceful. Not if you play peaceful. You have no way of getting to the end.
This just all leads back to like we've already got the good idea in the good ideas bin of just proper peaceful, where the game has all the mobs in, but they're just all peaceful mobs, and that solves all of these problems.
Oh, now you're killing defenseless mobs that can't fight back.
Tough. No, because we said if you hit them, they hit back.
Yeah. I agree. Passive. There you go. Instead of peaceful, it's called passive.
Yeah, passive mode. There we go. New mode, game mode. So unfortunately, Steve Fitch, it doesn't need to go in, even though the Blaze Rods is a good idea, because we've already reinvented the game. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whitebush says,
sounds good.
my wish is to change how the enchantment table works. Currently, to have a chance to get a good random enchantments, you need to be at level 30, which will take 3 levels from you, but could be random junk. I'd like it if you could choose how many levels you're willing to spend, still need to reach level 30, with the guarantee to get higher enchantments if you've got less, even if you've got less chances for multiple enchants, i.e. spending 3 levels works similar to how it does now, 9 levels and no enchantment will be below level 3, 15 levels and no enchantment will be below level 4, and no more than 2 enchantments, 25 levels, and you're guaranteed to get 1 level 5 enchantment subject to balancing. The problem is with that, not all enchantments go up to level 5. Some are capped at 2, some are capped at 3, some have 1, some have 4. I think it would be quite complicated, and I don't think it would be very intuitive. Or maybe it would be more intuitive. I don't know. I think it's not a bad idea, but I think there's better ways of dealing with the enchantment table than that. And I honestly think what we've discussed before, even though you didn't like it, Slack, I think the fact that you just manipulating it with what books you can have nearby would... No. Okay. That's my favourite idea. That's the one I like, guys. Everyone be on my side.
No. Now I could get behind, say level 10 guarantees you 1 enchantment up to like level 2. And then say level 20, you get 2 enchantments up to a potential level 3. And level 30, you get 3.
But then you just go back to grinding again.
I'm fine with that.
No, I don't want to spend more levels. I don't want to keep having to get more and more XP. Stop it.
I'm not saying it'd take all 30 levels or 10 levels. I'm saying it'd work like the current system. It's just they need to rebalance what you get.
Maybe.
We can agree that the whole system needs a rebalance.
Yes, 100%. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Next one's very short, Slack.
Bounty Ball says saturation like in Java.
Yes.
You want a parity change?
Why isn't that a thing?
Well, they just tried to do that, but it didn't happen. Remember, they gave us the big food saturation change supposed to match Java, and it still doesn't match Java.
No, this is what I don't understand. It all does. All the figures are right. The numbers are right, but we just don't get the health back as quick. Doesn't make sense. Why go so? Why would like 95% of the way there and then like miss out the most important bit?
But according to that, it's fixed in the name of parity. That was a parity update.
Because they don't play the game, they just look at the code. Yeah, code matches, must be all right, and let's move on. Go on, Jeff. Publish it. Okay. Guyver says, I wish the developers would add a mechanic to allow us to copy enchanted books. Perhaps this could be done using the lectern and the enchanting table or some other new block. The copy would require an empty book and cost some XP and lapis, or perhaps some other type of additional material. That would certainly solve a lot of these problems, wouldn't it? If you could duplicate enchanted books. I think it would have to come at a significant cost, kind of like duplicating trims do.
Yeah, it'd have to be expensive, but I could get behind it.
Yeah. So are we putting that in the good ideas bin?
Yeah, but not exactly like theirs, but expensive. Yeah, okay. So I like how we just put expensive. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Xeon is up next and says, make trapdoors cheaper. Like, how do 6 planks only make 1/4 of a plank? I can totally agree with that.
How does one whole block make one tiny button? Should make 10.
Yeah, it should make 9.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, good idea.
Yep.
Yeah, all they need to do is just fill the stone cutter up with wood recipes.
Yep.
How hard would it be? It's easy to do. I could do that with an add-on. Why don't you do it then?
Yep.
Maybe I will.
What's Brood have to say?
Brood says, I would like it if there was a clear indication of the limit a tool/piece of armor has before it becomes too expensive. It would be okay if it was low enough that you couldn't make a fully enchanted set, e.g. you could only have Unbreaking 2 if you have Mending Efficiency 5, as long as I have the information I need before I make that decision. I don't know how that would work, Brood, because the decision, it is clear because every time you do it, it gets more expensive. And then once it goes over 40 levels, it's too expensive. I don't know how more clear that could be. What they need to do is just get rid of the too expensive and make it cheaper. Because at the moment, again, Phoenix XC, I think it was, or someone, MC or whatever his name is, they did 2 equivalent books from the old trading halls and the new trade-in. Basically, not books, enchanted diamond pickaxe with efficiency 5, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3, and Mending. And with the old version, it costs to get those books as they are and put them together 13 levels. And with this new system, it would, by the time you put your last one on, it's 33 levels to put the last enchantment on, which is crazy. That's a massive difference.
Yeah.
It just needs fixing. It all needs rebalancing.
Yep.
I'm not going to put anything in the wish list to do with the new stuff because we don't know where it's going to go. Yeah.
Stitch Fix is up next and says, also, pretty please, can we get new banner patterns for achievements, trophies, or trophy blocks? Examples, the achievements for making a cake could give you a bakery banner pattern or a baker shop item in item frame. No.
If achievements were per world, I wouldn't mind something like that. Because then...
Okay, so that's different. That's different than what they just said.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like if you had an advancement system like Java Edition does, and you're like, okay, if I do this one, I get a gift, like a banner pattern, because it's not going to affect anything. Great. But
if we got the advancement system like theirs, in theory, we should have a way to be able to pull it up and see it per world. But right now, no. No, I don't want extra junk clouding up my inventory. No.
You wouldn't have to, though. It'd just be available as a recipe, wouldn't it? You're not getting given an item. You're just unlocking the ability to craft something new that has absolutely no change to the game at all.
Yeah, well, they've already got achievements. You already get something for the achievements. It's just nothing you can use in game. And then there's some that when you get the achievement, they give you a custom waving animation or something, So they've already got a system that they're not going to change.
Yeah, true. But, okay, sorry. Maribel Jade says, good afternoon, Slap and Noodle. With all of the possible changes to villagers, Littlest Troll would like Mojang to add another secret villager, a nether villager. Yes, I know the issues with nether villagers, but this is his idea, not mine, she says, winking. His idea, Slack, definitely, not mine. He wants a new weaponsmith that sells a special sword that has nether flame, an enchantment that you cannot get on a book or on the enchantment table, but it will catch your enemies on fire with blue flame. The blue fire will only affect things in the nether and will do double damage to anything that is resistant to fire damage because it's a special fire, he said, not me. No.
Little Troll, I'm going to say no.
Sorry, bud.
No.
Piglins are nether villagers.
Yep. Swift Sneak is an enchantment you can get that you can't get from villagers, so no.
Yep.
No. Nope.
Yep.
You remember all that stuff you spawned on me during Chaos? No. Nope. Pixelated is up next. It says, hey, Foxy and Slack. What if the Wandering Trader trades got better as you progressed in the game? This would mean he would buy rare things, better prices, and still helpful items. Thanks for the great podcast.
Do you know the problem with the Wandering Trader? It's just a bad idea. The Wandering Trader doesn't work at any stage of the game. If you're at a point in the game where you can afford stuff, you don't need him. If you're at the early game, you don't need him. it's the point. There's no point trying to fix it. And the reason Mojang haven't fixed it is because it doesn't work. It's like putting a fifth wheel under your car, right in the middle, and then wondering why the car's not working properly. And go, well, maybe we should make it a bit bigger. Well, what if we made it small? What if we put more air in it? What if we put a different tyre on it? No, just get rid of it. It doesn't work. No fixes, just banned. Get rid.
And Wandering Trader. I like that.
Yeah, good idea. Remove wandering idiot. There we go. Done.
Yep.
That's
Jason is up.
the last two podcasts. We've abolished suspicious stew, beetroots, and the wandering trader. We've told everyone they're not allowed to have cheaty farms anymore. We're ruining Minecraft, Slack.
Yeah. Is it you or me? I don't remember.
It's me. It's a bigger one.
Okay.
Jason, I wish I was better at Minecraft. Oh, sorry,
Me
Jason,
too.
we can't grant that wish. I wish the admin for the server I'm on would install a couple of cool add-ons created by a prominent influencer like Magnetic Boots. What do either of you think would be the best way to go about asking for this? Okay, we'll answer that before we go on to the other two that you've got. So basically, Jason plays on my server, wants me to install magnetic boots and other enchantments that he likes, or add-ons that he likes.
On your vanilla server.
Yeah, what would be the best way he could go about? Let's say it was your server, Slack. What could he do to convince you that was a good idea?
He couldn't.
He couldn't.
He couldn't. No. He
Oh,
couldn't.
man.
Because my decision doesn't matter. He's got to go see T-Man.
Okay, fair enough. For me, it's community consensus. It's if everyone wants it and everyone's okay with it, then as long as I can be bothered to actually keep it updated and put it on, then maybe.
See, I found in the past having add-ons on servers, I used to rock a lot of your add-ons on my servers. But then an update would come out. Foxy hasn't updated it yet. And, well, if you update, you can't play, and if the add-on's not there, it doesn't work. And I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's how it is. It's just how it is. It's annoying.
It's how it is. Yeah, we used to use the mini block one, but then like our server would get updated before you updated the mini blocks.
Most of the time, things that they've been pretty stable over the updates, to be fair. But yeah, there have been times where it'll just nerf out any like mini blocks that existed in inventories or that were played. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, and then what happens in this situation, okay? Say you get 95% of the server. They agreed that they really want magnetic boots. But there's one person there who really doesn't. They want to play vanilla Minecraft. So what are you going to do in that situation?
Just
You're going to tell them,
craft
sorry,
them.
get out?
Just don't craft them. You don't have to wear them.
But no, then suddenly the server feels cheated to them, and now they're not there, and now they unpatreon.
Yeah,
and now
exactly. It's a minefield, so you need to have you can't take these things lightly. Anyway, Jason continues. He would also like a holdable/wearable light source. Be good for the visually impaired. Let's see if you make fun of that one and others. I thought about this. A holdable wearable light source, right, is a bottle of night vision potion.
Yep, it already exists. There you go. Yep.
There you go. Job done.
Thank you.
Another one.
Because I was going to insult, but I didn't have to. Thank you.
I'd like a way to crush bones into bone meal automatically using something like a dispenser, spitting out bones in between a piston and a non-gravity block so it's hard. The piston fires, smashes the bone into bone meal, and it falls into a hopper. Then the hopper would feed in some sort of farm or whatnot. Now, I don't like that idea, Jason, but I tell you what I would like to see coming in Minecraft. I don't want automatic crafting, but I would like to see more automation. I'd like to be able to have like a series of machines. So I've got a hopper going into one machine and something's happening, and then a hopper underneath that and it's going into something else. And I wouldn't mind like processing bones into bone meal because it's not a big deal. It's not like you're turning diamond ore into diamonds or, which you could do through a furnace, I guess. But you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. So I wouldn't mind some sort of more...
We'll just run the bones through a furnace. There you go.
Yeah, or like we've talked about before, like recycling blocks and things like that, where you can or you get bits of stuff back, or recycle all of the like wooden stairs that you've made or crafted into sticks, things like that. Just a few little blocks like that don't really affect anything, but just allow you to be a little bit more. Because I really love automating stuff. I don't want fully automatic crafting. I don't want a machine that I can put a crafting recipe in and it starts spitting out, beacons or something. But I'd like stuff to go through a machine and either be decrafted into its like lower material. Like you can put iron ingots in and they come out as iron nuggets and, something like that. It's not going to be a problem.
Yeah. Okay, so for additional machines, that's totally different. For this concept of breaking bone mills down or bones, no. Go say no.
Okay. Fine. Who's next?
No. Stitch Fix is up next. Here we go. Since my enchantment ideal was a no, maybe give chiseled bookshelves a use by adding them to villager houses without lore or how to get villagers that don't spawn in villages, or add new structures under witch huts and jungle temples like igloos that trap villagers to signify they exist. You got a crafting thing that tells you when you get the stuff, so...
Yeah, I think what they're saying is like you have little books that you can read and it'll be like, oh, there's a villager down here, or oh, these villagers will give you these enchantments, which isn't actually a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea if you think about it. With us just moaning about earlier that Mojang have made it so you need to go to the wiki, that wouldn't be a bad way of getting around that. You don't need a handful of written books. It's not like you need totally unique ones all over the place.
Okay, but can you think of the existence of any written book in the game right now?
No,
because if you need that information, guess where you go to? There's a help
How to
screen
play.
that gives you a how to play. Yeah.
Doesn't exist on Java Edition.
Well, sorry. The advancements don't exist on Bedrock Edition. They're not the same.
Wow, you don't like anything today. Asifer says, going off the recent changes to villagers. Oh, jeez, here we go. What if the wandering trader was just that? A wandering trader. A trader who's going to other biomes to acquire useful things. The trader could have 5 levels of trades, novice to master, but all 5 would always be available. The point isn't expertise of the trader, but rather the expertise of whoever they happen to trade with. As they wonder, for example, maybe they traded with a master swamp librarian and a novice plains fisherman. The trades would be inverse of what the villagers do. So you're actually wanting them to go and trade with the villagers in those biomes, or is that all happening behind the scenes, but you're imagining that they've done that? And then it says this would make the trader more useful early game and also provide single player worlds a small feeling of multiplayer worlds wherein someone else may find something they've been looking for. Throw in smithing templates as well, and I think people may actually start to feel bad about the mercilessly slaughtering the wandering vagrant. We've already put him in the bin. Sorry.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. Sorry. No. He's already gone. Yep. Right. Gabby says, good day, gentlemen. How about filters for the spyglass? Adding different colored panes to the spyglass could offer certain buffs like X-ray that would give you sneak peeks into the nether chest from far away, or fog lift that extend. No, Gabby. No.
That extends the render distance. No. Fog lift. No. X-ray. No. The spyglass is for looking a long way away. If it's foggy, you can't see very far. It's real life, guys, not Minecraft. Don't forget it.
Yeah. No.
Asifer says, what if trail ruins were a means of identifying that something important is nearby, more important than sherds? What if there is a reason why a village couldn't be built there? Maybe a spawner near the surface or an ancient city. A similar logic could apply to abandoned villages. I don't understand that at all. Do you understand that, Slack?
No, I guess they're saying the trail ruins means there's a reason that you can't build a village there. No.
Why?
I don't like it.
I don't understand.
No. I don't like it. No. Esper is up next. It says, what if ruin portals had a greater chance of occurring near nether structure coordinates? Someone built this thing a long time ago and then destroy it because it was too dangerous. At a minimum, ruin portals in the overworld should link to ruin portals in the nether. This would be a subtle way of teaching how to... No, they're not going to do that. No.
Well, I don't mind that one. What's wrong with that one? You were so negative at the minute. What's it if you just had flying go up your bum or something? What's your problem?
Nothing. I just don't like it. Imagine the nightmare that's going to exist with that. I go to build my nether portal, okay, and I didn't know that there was one underground in that area.
But it's not lit.
Down at
it's just
Y0.
two ruined ones.
Yeah, but say I'm based in an area where they're talking about the two ruins, one's linked. If there's one at...
Yeah, but they're not actually linked. They're not actually linked. They're just
what if that's what links it? No. You can't have books. You can't have that neither. No. No, it's a bad idea.
I think that makes sense. That makes really good sense. If you've got an abandoned, because they why doesn't it do that? If you think about it logically, that really should be the case.
Why don't I have an abandoned village near every abandoned nether portal then? And why can't there be an outpost by it every time so that we know why it's abandoned?
If portals are designed to link together, if you've got a ruined one on one side, you should have another one on the other side that's ruined, not that actually link up, but that are in the correct coordinates, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. It's totally logical the way. That totally makes sense.
No.
Okay, sorry, Essifer. Slack's decided we're not allowed any more good ideas today. Sorry, bud. Tried my best. Okay, that is it for the wish list. If you've got a wish, I won't bother writing in because Slack's going to say no, but you can always try. Send us an email, fill in the feedback form, or join the Discord.
This is what happens when you give us books of feedback and suggestions instead of summarizing.
And we're already an hour, 2 hours, 20 minutes in. Jeez. It's time for the questions.
So instead of debating it, I'm just like, no. Yep.
Yeah.
This is on you all.
No, you can start, Slack. Jeez. While I organize these questions. Jeez.
Oh, we're on questions now. Hold on. Let me open this document so I can start knowing people here. Xeon says, do you think Mojang is trying to break down its casual players? They are making obtaining good gear like many steps and complicated processing. For example, having to move villagers all over the world. Do I think? No, because it's still easier than it was when I started playing the game. Like Foxy was talking about earlier. You remember when enchantments came to the game? How much did you play the game? You talked about earlier, or not this podcast, another one, where you did nothing but dig out a big perimeter with like stone pickaxes because you didn't even know enchantments were a thing. If people love the game and enjoy it, they're going to continue to play it. And then when they learn more, they're just going to be excited.
Yeah, the thing is...
A new player coming in is not going to know that you can get efficiency 5 with haste 2 and insta-mine a whole area. Sorry, you can go.
No. I totally agree with you. We are in a really fortunate position, or unfortunate really in this case, that we've played the game for so many years, and sometimes it feels like they're taking stuff away from us or making life harder. And when you get a string of that going on, they're doing this for a reason. They're clearly they're clearly trying to rebalance the game and make it more like it was, and because they'll have seen, okay, we've added all these changes. We've actually made a lot of changes over the years, like the enchantment table and the villagers and everything else that's made life a lot easier. And the game's not as popular now. So maybe we can make it as a little bit more popular by going back a few steps, So there's logic to there's method to their madness, but it's unfortunate when you are playing in the way you play and these things change and it gets harder. So I don't think they're trying to break down casual players. I don't think they're trying to upset anybody. They're trying to keep the game alive. That is their goal at the end of the day. Their only goal is to sell the game, keep it alive. Otherwise, they're out of a job, right? So nobody there is going, let's make life difficult for people because we think it's funny. As much as sometimes it feels like it is, they're making these changes because they think they're the right changes to make. So, just is what it is.
You sound like you're losing your voice.
Yeah, too much lemonade. Bojangle says, sorry, this is a little long / detailed. Well, don't write it then.
Skip.
Are there specific things that trigger substantial world size increases? I know maps are bad and excessive exploring is bad, but what would you consider excessive? We play couch co-op on PS5. At this current world, we planned on using a spare realm to get add-ons and also manage file size with pruning tools. We'd explored for a month as far out as 3,000 blocks in each direction, and the file size was 572 megabytes. We did a little more, stretching out to 5,000 blocks in some directions over the last 2 weeks, and the file size has remained the same. The other day, it suddenly popped up to 953.1 megabytes, a size common in bug reports, and crashed several times a night. It wouldn't upload to the realm anymore, so we reverted to a backup from the before the size expansion. If it just suddenly popped up, then something's gone wrong. Now, there have been cases recently where the world will have 2 copies of itself, and it will flick between versions. I had that a few times. I could go into the world, everything would be there, and make jump changes, come out, go back in, and it was all gone again. Like, what's going on? Then come back out and go back in again. It's there. It's because the world had basically duplicated 2 different copies of itself, and it didn't know which one to load. So it could be something like that. Or it could just be some PlayStation bug. I've no idea. But yeah, basically excess. I mean, if you've gone out 3,000 blocks in a world and you go out another 1,000 blocks in every single direction, that's going to be far worse than going out your initial 3,000 blocks because your radius is way bigger. So you're going much further, like as a whole, it's much bigger, right? But it's like going up from a HD TV to a 4K TV. It's not twice as big, even though the resolutions are twice the size. It's 4 times the size because you can fit 4 of the original ones in the next one. So the further you go out, the exponentially the bigger the stuff is going to get. All right, Slack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems all right.
Okay. You next.
Stitch. 2 questions. All right, let's do the first one first. Is parity important to you? If so, in what way? I'll let you go first.
If it was totally up to me and I had it was exactly, taking out the fact that Mojang's a business and money and all of those things and Microsoft and everything like that, it was just totally up to me, I would have Bedrock as a completely different game, like the way it was. Maybe with some of the Java stuff that we're desperately missing, but I like the fact that they're different. Parity is important for the game as a whole because when the 2 of them are close enough, then it's going to make life a lot easier for Mojang to just develop for 1 version of the game than 2, which means they've got more time to do more things, and I just think it's got to be good. It's much better for the player base, new players, existing players, when you ask a question to one person and the answer's the same, but no matter which version you're playing. So is it important to me? No, not really, because I know the differences on both versions. But it is important to me for everyone else's point of view and for the future of the game. You, Slack?
I could care less about parity. And the only reason I do care about it at all is because they keep throwing it at us. We've made this change in the name of parity. We've made this change in the name of parity. We've made this change in the name of parity. Okay, well, what about all the other things? How come when you have brand new features coming out at the same time, there's no parity between them? They're the ones making parity a big deal. So why am I so cynical about it? Because they can't even bring them out in parity together. Yet everybody wants to scream parity, parity, parity. Oh, they made these parity changes. Oh, they made these parity changes. Oh, they made these parity changes. They're making these parity changes right now on skulk sensors that just came out last year after they've already done parity update after parity update and screaming everything should be equal and the same. Yet they're not. We're still getting changes to it now that we didn't have at the beginning. Honestly, I could care less. I'm in the same agreement as Foxy. Why couldn't they have just left it alone? Left Minecraft Bedrock Edition be its thing, left Minecraft Java be its thing. And you want to say that there's no favoritism between the 2 versions. They like to say, or who was it that said, oh, you think Java Edition's the right edition? This. Why did Mojang themselves, or Microsoft, whoever you want to put behind it, take away the core title from Minecraft and give it to Bedrock Edition, knocked off the Bedrock Edition, and now name Minecraft Java? Yeah, I could care less about parity. They're the ones pushing it, so I'm going to beat that drum every time that they come out with something that's not right.
Yeah, it's just holding them accountable, I guess. They are working so hard on it, way more than they were.
I'm not saying they're not. Yeah. I'm not saying they're not. I love the game.
But
because I love the game, I'm going to have express opinions.
Yeah, and when they make statements, which they did, like a few, was it either this last Minecon Live or the one before, where they said every single update that comes out from now on will have parity on both devices, and then
they didn't.
Yeah, and they get so close, but they don't achieve it. And they don't go back and fix the stuff they missed recently, like the Village and Pillage update, still miles different on both versions. I understand there's probably a big job to change, but they say that's what they want. They need to stand up
But
and do
then
it.
that's one of those things that if you go to fill out a bug on the bug tracker report, they exclusively, or I can't remember what it is, it's specific. If it's before this version, we're not even going to look at it as a parity change.
No. Not right
Like,
now,
I'm pretty
but
sure
it'll be
Village-
on like
yeah.
the back burner list. But I think they're working hard to get the things that we consider important. You know, the last few changelogs we've had have been crazy for parity, like the sneaking stuff and the crawling stuff and the all this crazy stuff that's going on. It's
you don't like my opinion. That's perfectly fine. I don't really care at the end of the day. But a lot of my opinions are formed off of you all, from streams and videos and comments and communities. You don't like them? Well, they're a subject of the community that surrounds this. Sorry. Right. Second part of the question. If it wasn't your job, how many years ago do you think you would have quit playing Minecraft? Probably wouldn't have. I'd probably still be playing it.
I don't know.
At a different level.
It's a really difficult question to ask, that one. I mean, it's an impossible question to ask. No idea. I probably just dabble from time to time because I wouldn't have had, if I never became a content creator, I wouldn't have any friends that play Minecraft. So I'd have probably played it with the kids every now and then. I'd probably like jump in and do this mod pack every now and then, maybe, and just, get some enjoyment out of it. But I don't think I'd have played it much.
I would have definitely went more modded.
Yeah.
I stayed vanilla because that's what people wanted from my content at that time. Before I started making vanilla survival series, I played crazy modded Minecraft. But is what it is.
Okay, Crania Rainquest says, Foxy and Slack, I keep wondering if Minecraft will ever get a movement update that primarily changes how our avatar moves and performs. Tumble dodge, aerial flight update, zipline, hookshot, battle, etc. Afterthoughts like the hang glider from last week, good idea. I wonder if either of you see Mojang putting effort directly into a movement update along those lines. It could be called the This Is How We Roll update. I want to say they probably won't because I think it's it's very iconic, isn't it? How the Minecraft characters look and how they are. Roblox did it a few years ago. Roblox went from having very blocky Minecrafty characters to then all of a sudden having elbows and knees and different shapes, and it worked for them. And I think it could work for Minecraft. I think it would be absolutely fine if all of a sudden, there were better animations for this and, more stuff like for that. I think it could really work in Mojang's favor to, bring this more in line with a more modern audience. But they do like to get very hung up on tradition and, the iconic parts of the game, which you can totally understand. And the other thing is, don't fix what ain't broke, and no one's complaining about the animations in Minecraft. So, but then they bring out things like the frog.
That wants Dodro.
When they bring out the frog and do completely new custom animations, and everyone's like, "Are you going to do that for all the animals now?" And the player, they kind of shoot themselves
give
in
him
the foot a bit.
that puffer strut, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. Okay, what's next? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, Territe is next. It says, with the new shader system, I was wondering if you knew how customizable it is. Do creators only have the ability to change the PBR, or can they do more complex things? Foxy.
No. It's not shaders. As I talked in massive depth on this earlier, but yes, you can change the PBR. The most complicated thing you can do is change the color brightness of the sun and the moon over the period of time that it goes around the Earth. That's about it. It's not very exciting.
No.
Gamma Ray 66 says, Foxy and Slack, I was wondering if either of you employ a way of counting blocks in builds. In other words, if you make a build in Creative Test World and want to make the build in Survival, is there an easy and quick way to count the blocks to accurately gather resources? Drives me nuts trying to grind trees for hours, only to find halfway through the build I need to grind trees for a couple more hours. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the podcast. Do you know, it's always baffled me why people need a list of how many items it's going to have. How many comparators and redstones and
right.
Just go and get some. What does it matter? I've never, ever, ever, ever in my entire life counted how many blocks I'm going to need to build a farm or build a building. If I run out and go get some more, the advice I would give anybody is just go and gather in bulk. If you're going to go get sand, get 4 shulker boxes of it. If you're going to go get gravel, get 4 shulker boxes in it. Make sure you've got plenty. If it looks like it's going to be big, get plenty. You don't need to know. You don't need to know exactly how many you need. Like, the worst thing you can do is go, right, I need 24 comparators. You go and get 24, you drop one, it despawns, or a creeper blows up, it's broken. Now you're down a comparator, you've got to go craft another one. Just take plenty.
Yeah, that one kind of burns me up, and that's a personal pet peeve. If you're going to build something, you don't care what the material list is for it. You know, if I'm going to build an item sorter, I know I'm going to need hundreds of hoppers.
Yeah. So
Telling me I need 602.
Iron.
602 is not going to be the answer, because I guarantee I'm going to lose 50 of them.
Yeah. Take plenty of warden iron. Like this is the entire reason I have a shulker box, an ender chest full of shulker boxes full of all of the common things that I use. So that I know if I'm going to come to a project that requires a lot of this, that, and the other, I can craft whatever I need. And if I haven't got what I need to craft it, I can go get it. You know?
But to answer your question, is there an easy way? Kind of, but if you don't know command blocks and stuff like that, you're going to get a headache real quick. I mean, the easiest way that I go about it, because I give a materials list in every tutorial, is I copy the thing I'm building. I go over to an independent area where there's nothing around there. I fill it with air, I destroy all the blocks so they land on the ground, and then I teleport those to a hopper minecart above a hopper that's feeding into a chest. So I get every block that I just destroyed put into that chest. Then I open the chest and I just arrange it. And I take a fancy screenshot and I say, here's your exact materials list.
Oh, what a waste of time. What an absolute waste of time. Just reply to the people that are like, what's the materials list, with redstone components and building blocks. Like, the thing is, like, you might, in your tutorials, you might choose to build it out of wool or concrete or smooth stone or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to build it out of that. Go build it out of wood or cheese or, I don't know, whatever. I don't care. Stop it. Stop asking for blooming numbers. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't matter, but that's how I provide it. Actually, I do it. I do it a lot easier now with Heather Structura, because literally I make a structure block of it, go to his Discord, and I'm like /convert, and it tells you the count of every block in it.
Waste of.
And I just copy that to a WordPad.
Right, who's next?
Okay, Xeon is up next again. It says, what do you feel about companies trying to remove access to physical copies of games and publishing or pushing you to buy in digital? I'm saying this because of the closure of GameStop and Argo in Ireland,
Argos.
and Tesco announcing they won't sell games anymore. I haven't even had a computer that's had a CD-ROM in it or a DVD player in it for probably 10 years.
No, but it
doesn't
sucks.
bother me at all.
It massively sucks. It sucks because what game did I play recently? Jedi Survivor, right? I don't mind having a digital download as long as I can play that on any PC system that I want. I want to be able to, the thing is, you've got to get your head around, guys. You never buy a game, you buy a license to be able to play a game.
Yep.
What I dislike strongly, and this is the way a lot of things are going, is like for any EA game now, you have to have their EA game app open to launch the game. You have to have an internet connection to the EA servers. You have to be signed into their servers with an account that you've created in order to launch the game. That is disgusting. If I've got a license to play the game, I should be able to just click on an icon on my desktop that launches that game. I shouldn't need an internet connection. I shouldn't need an account for that company to have to sign into it. It's gross. And that's what annoys me. And that's why having physical copies was always an advantage, because that just didn't exist then. But it's all going this way now, and it's gross. I hate it. Like, most of my games I got through Steam. If Steam ever goes under, I've lost access to all of those games. I've paid for them. I'm not going to get my money back, but I haven't bought the game. I've bought the license. But even with that license, I should be able to play the game for as long as I have a system that's capable of running it. So, yeah, totally sucks. The advantage of digital stuff is, though, I can, I don't have to, if I lose my physical copy, it's gone. If I break my CD, it's gone. Whereas if I load up my Xbox or someone else's Xbox with my account in it, I can download and install my games, and it knows where my save games are, So there are advantages, but the whole hide it behind your own stupid launcher and online subscription thing just really irritates me. Sorry, Slack, you were going to say something.
Oh, I agree too. And I don't like it because the whole world's not fed with high-speed internet. I mean, just 2 years ago, I was still using my phone hotspot. 3 years before that, I was still using dial-up. You think I could download any of those games on dial-up? No, it's an absolute joke. You know, when my power used to go out and I didn't have, or my internet used to go out, my dial-up internet, guess what? I didn't have movies to watch unless I had a DVD player in the other room, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't like the fact that they're doing away with physical copies at all, because the world, even though it's advancing and everybody's the internet and they're trying to make an internet right now, not everybody has access to it. Not everybody's capable of it. You know, Bob Smith down the street might have the money to go buy a game for an Xbox that somebody gifted them a few years ago, if they went to GameStop and picked up the physical copy of this new game. But because it's a digital copy only, he can't afford to have the internet, so he can't afford to get it or download it. Therefore, he's cut out from it. So I think it's nonsense that they're doing away with physical copies and forcing everybody to a digital copy.
The other thing that sucks is that there's no, I finished that game, now I can sell it. I'll go sell it to my friend. I'll take it in.
I can't even get my $2 GameStop credit from it, you know?
Yeah, no trade-ins. It's totally ruined the whole like resale value of games, which makes games. We know they talked about games being not expensive enough, in my opinion. But then there was always that ability to then trade it in, you know, and then you get your money back towards your next game.
But now people are selling accounts.
Yeah, selling accounts or getting like dodgy CD keys that someone's already used, and so there's a big problem there. And and they're also more expensive. Like if you buy a game online, there's no competition there. Like Nintendo Store, the Nintendo Store games are way more expensive than they are in a physical copy. But they don't have any competition because they're Nintendo games. They're not available anywhere else. And it's whereas if you've got a physical copy, they're in stores. They're competitive against the other stores, so you get a discount. It's awful. Yeah, the whole thing sucks.
Yep, totally agree. Totally agree.
Case Lynn says, Slack and Foxy, hi, long-time listener, first-time chatter. My question involves the new villager enchant. Since the villagers... Oh, my goodness. Since villagers won't sell level 4 to 5 enchants anymore, how will this work with spending levels on combining? Well, we've talked about this in great detail. Yeah, it's basically asking questions we've already answered. They will sell for level 4 to 5 enchantments, just not the master one. All the other enchantments will go up that far.
Yeah,
okay.
But like your key one that protects... Yeah, we've covered it to death at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plot is up next and says, there's a new shader thing paved the way for the return of utility shaders like the light level pack. Foxy?
No. It's not shaders.
No. Not shaders. Tried to help you there, Plot. Yeah.
Stitch Fix says, why do you two wish developers would take away OP farms? What's the point in changing villagers if the way they have, in your opinion, what's really adding to the game? I don't want to take away OP farms. I want them to take away farms that are based on bugs and give us the proper alternative. I want them to put the actual proper mechanics that should exist into the game rather than us having to rely on bugs. And you talk about, Java parity, this, that, and the other. I would like entity cramming. Entity cramming would save us having to have ridiculous trident killers that rely on having to get tridents and the grind of getting tridents and enchanting the tridents and having all that redstone and those pistons going on. Just give us entity cramming. Right?
I mean, what about this, Stitch Fix? What if I said that trident killers were a bug because they don't exist in, Java edition?
I can make an entity cramming add-on with about 10 lines of code in about 10 minutes. It would work perfectly. All it would do is it would detect where entities were, and if there's more than 20 of them on one block, start killing them one at a time. Easy. There's no reason they can't add that to the game. It is one of the easiest things to do. It wouldn't cause any lag. It wouldn't be any performance issues. It'd be super, super easy. Why hasn't it come to parity yet? Maybe it should go the other way around. Maybe entity cramming should be taken away from Java Edition. That will ruin a few things for them. But then maybe they could get trident killers. I don't know. I just want them to be like, this is the way it's supposed to be. This is actually right. What am I playing? Am I playing the right version or the wrong version? I don't know. So I just want them to do it right. What's the point of them changing the villages the way they have? Ask Mo Young. What's it really adding to the game? Ask Mo-Young. I don't know.
Yeah, you've asked these questions, we've answered them, and it feels like you're just trying to poke a fight now, and I'm not even going to engage it. Zeon is up next and says, would you rather transport villagers or shulkers?
Villagers.
Villagers?
Any day of the week.
Shulkers, you can't even get to the overworld without having the spawn point moved for it to work properly. Oh, but I seen so-and-so on Truly Bedrock. We've moved spawn on Truly Bedrock. That's why it appeared there.
Yeah, I do not want to move villagers ever, shulkers ever. Brew 59 says, hi, this question is for Foxy. Other than scheduling, do you find it harder or easier to do the podcast with another person, and why? Much easier, because it's very difficult to have 2 hours of conversation with yourself. It's possible, but it's very difficult.
Yeah. Stone Ostrich is up next and says, hey, Foxtrot?
Foxtrot.
Kind of. Foxtrot. Okay. Foxytrot. Okay, whatever. When you were hosting the TB server, how many gigabytes of data a month approximately was used?
No idea. Not a clue. I've never monitored bandwidth. Never needed to. I always have unlimited data, so don't know.
Same.
Not a clue. I don't think it's much. I don't think servers generally send that much information, to be fair. So, yeah.
No, it's kilobytes at a time, because I used to play on a phone that only had like 0.5 upload and download, and as a player, I could connect just fine.
Yeah. Xenon is back again saying, why are shaders needed for chunk lines? I get why they're needed for light levels as it is, but, light, but not chunk borders. Because there's no way of changing vanilla blocks in Minecraft other than their actual textures, but you can't change the texture per the position of the block in the world. Whereas with shaders, you can basically change the way a block looks based on its position in the world really easily. So you can add things like lines to blocks just by saying, well, if a block exists in this position, i.e. on a chunk border, put a line here. So that's why shaders are needed for chunk lines. I tried to do it with particles recently, and that was a nightmare. It didn't work.
Okay, this is one of those rare instances where I'm gonna acknowledge live chat here for a minute, because we are recording this in the Discord. And Stitch is like, I'm not trying to poke a fight. I just wonder why people always say things are too overpowered. Because we've been playing the game so long, we remember the game before it was added in, and we know how much it broke the game when it was added in, and how much easier it made things. So that's what I would say constitutes our opinion on why it's overpowered.
An educated decision on whether something is giving too many things for not enough work. And I think we've both earned that the right to be able to judge for ourselves whether we think something is too overpowered or not. If something is giving you lots of items for having put very little effort in, and is generally using some sort of bug or exploit to the game's mechanics which shouldn't, are not intended, then I consider it OP. Villagers, okay, it's not an exploit or a bug or a mechanic, but it is, because we use the cheaty trading halls with the zombie thingy mechanic, or we use what they've just patched out of the game, constantly curing villagers to get them to stack, which made trading halls OP. For me personally, fixing either of those bugs or both of those bugs makes villagers not as OP, and I probably wouldn't have suggested they were so OP. But the way villagers are right now, they give way too much for very little effort. Yes, you have to spend a while rolling them, but you can have a full trading hall within a few minutes to start in the world, and I'd be fully enchanted within a few hours. So that's too much, in our opinion.
Yeah,
based on our
so
experience.
Just like your opinion, your opinion might be yours. This is our opinion. Yep.
Yeah.
Who was that we just did?
Xenon says Purple Hoser next.
It says, Foxy, is there good root beer in your area?
I have no idea what root beer is. It doesn't exist in the UK. I've never had
yes,
one.
It does.
Don't know what it tastes like. Well, does
yes,
it?
It does.
I've never seen it in the UK.
Yes.
Was that in the special American section of your petrol station?
Nope. That's in pretty much every store that I went in over there.
What, root beer?
Yep.
It's obviously not very popular, because I've never ever seen it. I've never had one. I've no idea what it tastes like.
It's right there. Usually right alongside Cokes. Yep.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't go in the fizzy drink section, so I don't drink.
Says the man
sodas.
who's drinking fizzy lemonade.
Well, I bought that because Jack likes it. Flash.
As far as as far as root beer goes, A&W, and it's got to be almost frozen. There you go. Now you can continue on.
What was it called?
A&W root beer.
No, okay. I shall look for it next time I'm in Tesco.
Okay.
Flash, when you say about farms utilising... do you know, I've never, ever known anyone ever in the UK that I'm aware of drink root beer. No one's ever said, have you tried root beer? Do you want root beer? The only times I've ever even heard of root beer are on TV shows and in the movies.
It's kind of like that one you all got over there, and I'm going to say the name wrong just to trigger somebody. It's like dandelions and dirt, you know?
Dandelion and
Dandelions.
Bedrock.
That's nasty. No, it's not. You know, why would you drink dandelion and dirt? You know,
It's lovely.
No.
Okay.
No.
Right, we got to get through the rest of these questions.
Okay.
We're nearly on 3
Okay.
hours again. Jeez.
Okay.
Flash says, when you say about farms utilising the bug rather than game mechanics, how do us mere mortals know the difference? Most of us watch YouTube, see farms being made, follow, adapt those farms. Are we at fault? No one's saying you're at fault, Flash. I don't know why you're taking this so personally.
Yep. Ain't nothing personal with it.
We're not going against you or anyone in the that's listening. No, you don't know, but you would know if they took it away because it was a bug.
Yeah. Well, it's like I think trident killers are cheaty. I have forever, haven't I?
Yeah.
Since long as he's known me, I used them because they're
I refused to
only
use them
viable
for
thing.
years.
Yeah, so did I. I blatantly refused to for the longest time.
Yeah.
But it's been here so long now that I'll use it. But if they take it away, I'm going to be annoyed as you are. But that doesn't mean we don't know if it's a bug or not.
I refused to use them until they patched them out and the community went mad and they added them back in as a feature.
There you go.
And then I'm like, okay, fine, these are legit.
No.
So, you don't... Yeah, anyway, next.
Yeah, so that was Flash. Xeon is up again. It says, what would Mojang need to do for wavy water, leaves, etc.?
Flick that lit switch in the Mojang offices that allows shaders to be added again. It's literally that. There you go, done.
Yep. What's Flash have to say?
Flash is back. Next question. What are you called on Marketplace? Been looking for your content on Xbox, but can't find Foxy No Tail. Lots of Foxys on there. Can't find you. I go under Two Tail Studios. I haven't got a massive amount of my own content on there. Medieval, survival, map, a couple of skin packs, but I have published a lot of things that are not necessarily mine. So,
okay, so you go from Foxy No Tail to Two Tails.
Yeah.
So you got Two Tails over there, but no tail over here.
Yes. Yeah, the reason being is because when you look through creators in the Minecraft marketplace, it does it alphabetically with numbers at the top. And if you are at the top of a list, you're more likely to get viewed and more likely to get downloads. So number
smart.
2
That's smart.
is better than an N.
That's smart. Oh god!
It's the same. Like
next.
you look at your YouTube subscriptions list. If you watch YouTube on TV like I do, and you look at subscriptions, it's a big old list. Or even on the PC, big old list on the left-hand side. I bet you watch the people at the top of that list more often than you do the people at the bottom. Alphabetical.
You watch off your list?
Oh yeah, I only ever use the subscriptions page.
I never. No.
Okay.
If I'm in the mood to watch certain content, I go search for that content creator.
Do you? Oh really? Okay, fair enough. All right, what's next?
Xeon is up next and says, is it just me or has the Minecraft background music gotten more irritating because it used to be relaxing, but now I have it off completely? You know, as a content creator, I haven't had Minecraft background music on in probably 4 years, so I couldn't tell you.
I tell you what, the menu music is irritating. So I've been working on this fighter map for the marketplace, and I'm putting music into that, which means I have to have the music on. And every time I come out the game, in which you have to come out of to make a change, and sometimes I'll be out of it for a while I'm doing a bit of coding, the menu music starts playing, and it is thoroughly, thoroughly irritating. It comes on immediately. It's drony, boring, moaning, horrible, like me talking really most of the time. It's just dull. It's so awful. And it's loud as well. I just know it's horrible. I don't think there should be any menu music in Minecraft. It's awful.
That's why we got beautiful sliders.
Yeah. Flash says again, I watched a lot of YouTube through my smart TV so the family can watch, but it doesn't let us like each video we watch. If I go to the PC afterwards to like the vid, only watch 10 seconds, does it cause problems for the channel? No, but if you press up on your TV remote while the YouTube video's on, it'll come up with all the options. It gives you a little slidey bar, and then you press up again, and it gives you like you can change the settings, you can put subtitles on. It's all there. You can do it on TV. I watch many YouTube on TV.
Man with the Plan is up next and says it would be nice if we had a spawn structure command in vanilla. Totally agree.
Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't exist. It's very annoying.
Yep.
We do have a structure block command that you can do from structure blocks, but we can't summon in vanilla structures. So sadly.
Exactly. So, like, if I wanted to make a new world and I'm making a new Patreon server and there's like 6 swamps, I'm like, okay, well, I want to add in extra witch huts here. That'd be great. And they actually worked. Yep.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant, especially if you did the structure blocks as well. Structure spawns.
Yep.
Xanon is back again. Is there any reason we don't have spectral arrows? It can't be that difficult to add them to Bedrock. I don't know. I don't think there's any. I think there must be a limitation there somewhere. But again, you could do that with shaders. People did it. People added lines around things with shaders. It's all possible with shaders. If only they'd give us shaders slack.
No, they just didn't give us shaders back. That would be an answer to all that.
Yep.
And next up, we got Flash3636 and says, they said years ago Bedrock was the way forward for Minecraft, but now deliberately make differences between Java and Bedrock. So what is parity exactly? I don't think they do it deliberately. I think they fully intend the features to come out the same. I just think that one game is done in one program language, the other is in another, and time constraints are like, oh, we can't do this in time, so we'll just release it as is.
Yeah, exactly. And then it ends up on the back burner.
Yep. There you go.
The problem is, so obviously Java Edition's coded in Java. Bedrock Edition's coded in C++, but it's also coded slightly differently for each of the platforms it has to go on, because Apple, it'll need to be ported to Apple, it'll need to be ported to Android, it'll need to be ported to Amazon Fire OS, and all the other systems that it's available on. Well, what was the new one? It was Chrome OS, wasn't it, recently? So all of those things it'll all be slightly different. The C++ code will need adapting and changing slightly. So whilst they might have it working, they're probably like, okay, we got this working on like Windows. It's fine. The platform we're clearly developing it on, but it don't work on Android or it don't work on iOS. Oh, well, we'll just put it on the back burner for now. We'll get it working. So, they don't do it intentionally. It's just sometimes there's limitations of the engine. Yep. Sometimes it's time, just like anything else, really.
Yep.
Okay, that is the end of the questions. If you've got a question for us, then you can ask it at news@theblockupdate.com, fill in the feedback form on the website or join in the Discord, or you can watch us live next week at the same time and ask us while we're live. Why not? Most of the people did today. Just to remind you, we are supported by Patreon. If you've enjoyed us moaning, ranting, and telling people off in this episode, then you can help us by doing that in the future by going to patreon.com/theblockupdate and tearing up.
Yeah, and if you would potentially like to have your ideal shot down live by me or Foxy, join the Discord.
Yeah. Click on any of the tiers and just make sure you go all the way through to the point where it charges your credit card, and we'll be happy.
Yep.
Yeah, what are you doing this week, Slack?
I got videos still coming out on a consistent Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube. Monday and Wednesdays are right now our myth busting series. Fridays are tutorials. Streams, I don't know. I've turned into Foxy on streams. I get ready. I'm like, hey, I should stream. Just can't be bothered.
I never said I can't be bothered. Yeah. Okay, it's funny that your videos are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because mine are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Short's going out daily at the moment, and I have been streaming. I streamed Monday and Tuesday, and I'm going to do tomorrow maybe if I can be bothered. Jeez, and don't forget, anybody listening, if you do want to get in touch for any reason, you can do by emailing us, filling out the feedback form on the website, or joining the Discord. All that's left to say is the same thing that I say at the end of every podcast, and that is, if you think we've got shaders on Bedrock Edition, then you can clear off, because I've told you a million times we haven't.
I approve of this message.
And stop sending us some long feedback, just short ones.
Yeah. If you would like, to be ignored, just send a book.
Yeah,
we'll gladly skip over it. Yep.
See you next week, peeps. Bye.